Hey everyone, Firescale Audiobooks here. If there's a novel you'd love to hear more of, you can support us on Patreon or Ko-fi. Depending on your tier, I'll make extra parts just for the stories you're most excited about. Usually I can only upload 4 to 5 parts of each novel, but with your support, we can go beyond that. And of course, don't forget to hit subscribe. It helps more than you know.
Chen Xi didn't take General Ross seriously at all. He seemed to be a bit of a scumbag, right? An ordinary person was not worthy of his careful treatment. After grabbing the howling Wu-Tang Clan disciple banner, Chen Xi teleported away directly. No matter what, he could not take advantage of Ross. The Hulk is a powerful weapon and must be used properly. However, before Chen Xi left, he smiled strangely at Ross. In Ross's view, this is provocation and ridicule. HMPH, just wait. Not to be outdone, Ross snorted coldly, looked at the soldiers and said angrily, "Close the team!" Action started in a hurry and ended in failure. At Tony's villa, Chen Xi suddenly appeared out of thin air and threw the shocked banner into the swimming pool. Plop. The strong stimulation and freezing finally relieved Banner's pain and brought him back to his senses. "Oh, Falk!" He struggled to stand up and cursed before looking in all directions. "Hey, who are you? Why are you leaving me here?" Even if he was in a bad situation, he didn't give up. Recently, he has become more and more courageous. As long as there is danger, Hulk will immediately appear to save him. He can't even commit suicide. "It doesn't matter who I am your savior now, please be honest with me," Chen Xi said as he changed his clothes. He had to get nanoscale vibranium at some point. Ordinary clothes were easy to break. When Banner heard this, did he turn out to be his savior? He had long discovered that the military was arresting him, and the man in front of him had indeed escaped with him. Yes, that's right, he is my savior. The confused Banner was tricked by Chen Xi again, but he didn't know that the culprit was the savior in front of him. Chen Xi was really a thief and shameless. He beat people up and even tricked them into being grateful. Banner made a zipper motion with his hand to indicate that he had shut up. This guy, American humor? Wow, Chen Xi didn't see it. Are Asians also so strong when they stand up? They are more than 20 centimeters tall, right? Who knows? Tony actually showed up with Pepper at this time, probably informed by Jarvis. "Peppo, turn around quickly." The venomous Tony's face immediately turned bad. Damn it, he's pretending to do it again. Even Pepper couldn't help but be attracted. What a failure. Don't feel inferior, Tony, it's innate. I don't blame you for genetic problems. Get out, do I have low self-esteem? Fark. Tony broke his guard, got excited and was completely injured. Ha, don't be excited, I'm not talking about you, why are you excited? You, Tony, who was beaten down, is very unhappy now. Is he, the king of loudmouths, going to be defeated today? Seeing that Tony was so frustrated that he doubted his life, Pepper couldn't help covering his mouth and snickering. He deserved it. Don't worry, I'm not here to attack you today. Chen Xi coughed dryly and became serious. I don't believe a single punctuation mark in what you say. Let's get down to business. Tony was very unhappy. Well, that's right. Chen Xi paused and thought for a moment before continuing. You should know this guy next to me, right? I know Hulk, Dr. Banner, Tony replied casually. It's good to know each other. Let him stay here temporarily and study the steel armor with you. What? He stays here, are you sure? Aren't you afraid that he will destroy my villa? Tony's eyes widened and he exclaimed again and again. Impossible, absolutely impossible. This banner is a time bomb, no one dares to take it in. Oh, is that really the case? I am just suitable to go to the deep mountains and old forests and live in solitude for the rest of my life. Hearing Tony's loud rejection, Banner sighed helplessly. Are you really a disaster? You just want to live a quiet life. Why is it so difficult? The world cannot tolerate me. What should I do? Banner's mood fluctuated violently because of Tony's words. His desire for destruction became stronger and stronger, and the green in his eyes became more and more intense. The Hulk was coming out. Banner, calm down. Others are not willing to accept you, but am I not afraid? You are not alone. I believe Tony will accept you too. Yes, I welcome you too. When Tony saw that the situation was not good, he quickly borrowed the donkey from the slope and laughed sarcastically. Really? You weren't willing just now? Banner is not stupid. Oh, you also know how annoying and cunning Chen Xi is. I am so p***d off by him. Marvel just doesn't want to suffer any loss. While clearing itself, it also tries to shady Chen Xi. Classmate Tony has a way of doing it. The green in his eyes slowly faded and Banner finally calmed down. Tony let out a long breath. This is the uncle coming. It's easy to ask God but hard to send him away. Chen Xi, I hate you. I will draw a circle and curse you. You can never eat instant noodles without seasoning packets. Tony's face turned blue and white and he was a master of face changing. Tony. Have you ever studied Sichuan opera? This face-changing technique is great. Chen Xi couldn't help but joked that his own happiness must be based on the pain of others. I'm so good. Tony was so depressed that he almost vomited blood. It was all this damn guy's fault. Why did you bring him back in the first place? Hey, I've been angry with you for so long. I'll give you a life-saving message at half the price. Don't die by then. What a pity, then Pepper will become someone else's woman. At this moment, Shengun Chen is officially online and turning on the cheating mode. Such eloquent words shocked Tony. He knew that Chen Xi had a mysterious side even though his personality was much worse than his. Tony asked solemnly, how much? What news? It's not much, $100 million, the same price no matter how young or old you are. Chen Xi looked at Tony with a smile and there was something meaningful in his words. Okay, I promise, tell me now. Tony gritted his teeth and agreed immediately. 100 million is not much. As long as it is useful, it is worth it. Banner and Pepper were dumbfounded. Is money so easy to make? 100 million just by talking? The world has become unrecognizable to me. That's it. Be careful about your good Uncle Obadiah Stan. He has brought back your first-generation armor and want to kill you and take control of the board of directors. Chen Xi's words were not surprising, but this news made Tony Lei's skin burnt and his scalp numb. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. Tony's eyes widened in complete disbelief. He is an old man from Stark. He has worked hard to assist the Stark family for decades. How is this possible? You know people but don't know their hearts. You are a junior and he is an elder. How about letting you take orders from a junior? In response to Tony's disbelief, Chen Xi, who had received the money, decided to give him some free psychological counseling. Tony still didn't believe it. It was still a bit difficult to shake up decades of hard work with just a few words. But that's it, he can't die anyway. Chen Xi doesn't want to waste any more words. With this kind of words, he might as well serve Wanda. It seems that Tony will officially announce his withdrawal from weapons manufacturing tomorrow, so it's time to buy at the bottom. This is what he cares about. Whether Tony listens or not, believes it or not, Chen Xi doesn't care anymore. People, life and death are determined by fate. Wealth and honor are in heaven. When it was time to leave, he took one last look at Banner. He asked Banner to hold on first. Avengers, forget it. Forget it, that's all, I'm leaving. Before taking 2 steps, Chen Xi turned around again. By the way, Tony, quickly ask Jarvis to call me 100 million, otherwise I'm afraid I won't receive it. Roll. Tony was furious. Who are you cursing? Haha, let's go. Chen Xi laughed loudly and then teleported away. Seeing Chen Xi disappearing suddenly, everyone's jaws almost dropped in shock. What fuck is this teleportation? Damn it, why did this guy take our plane to leave in the first place? He could teleport. I was kind enough to bring him back, but he actually lied to me. Tony is as depressed as a fly. Ever since this guy appeared, he has been in a state of being cheated. His demeanor has changed now. As long as Chen Xi appears, nothing good will happen. Tony was stunned. Pepper covered his mouth and snickered beside him, and Banner stared at the sky. It had nothing to do with him. In Wanda's room, Chen Xi teleported again. When he appeared, he frowned. System, why do I feel like there is a delay in teleportation? This happens whether it's the Red Devil or the Night Walker. He was full of doubts. Could this be a drawback of mutants? After all, there is no perfect ability in this world. The system also responded to Chen Xi at this time. The host, the Red Devil and Nightcrawler among the mutants all use different spaces to teleport, so there is only a few tenths of a second delay before they enter the different spaces. Sure enough, after hearing the system's explanation, Chen Xi finally understood. In the top combat power, this disadvantage is too big. the enemy can judge the action in advance based on your delay at any time. In a duel between masters, even in 0-1 seconds, the opponent can be killed. Chen Xi naturally would not tolerate such a thing happening. Is there any solution? This is a fatal problem. The system's answer was decisive. What can I do? Swallow the space gem and use the infinite space power of the space gem to directly evolve the host into space transfer. Okay, that's it. Chen Xi nodded decisively. Steve, it's your turn to be born early. Chen Xi instantly thought of a way to achieve his goal 100%. At this time, Steve is sleeping in the Arctic Ocean and has not been fished out yet, so he can do a lot of work. Your superhero, Captain America Steve, and the national idol is still alive in this world. Are you surprised or surprised? Just trade this superhero Steve for the cosmic cube. Can Nick Fury not change the black braised egg? Absolutely impossible. No matter what, he must change. This matter is not up to him. If he doesn't agree, the people will tear him apart directly. He knows very well how crazy people in this country will worship individual heroism. Then in a few days, look for Captain America Steve and then sell him for money. Ding! Congratulations to the host for slightly changing the fate of the plot character Hulk. The host will be rewarded with 100,000 points. Ding! Congratulations to the host for slightly changing the fate of the plot character Tony Stark. The host will be rewarded with 100,000 points. Currently, the host has a total of 59 million points. After waiting for so long, the system prompt came and Chen Xi felt relieved. How could he get nothing by intervening in this plot? As for the impact that he would have if Steve was born 2 years earlier, he didn't consider it. Who cares? Isn't the plot just there to ruin it? Otherwise, what's the point of him coming to this world? No one can take away what he likes. As for the purple sweet potato spirit's anger, please, he still doesn't know in which corner of the universe he will implement his equality of all living beings. He couldn't notice it at all for a while, so what if he noticed it? A mere sub-heavenly father-level purple sweet potato spirit dares to come to Earth. Now that Odin is not dead and the Ancient One is still around, the purple sweet potato spirit naturally does not dare to come and give away his head. Even before Hela died, Thanos did not dare to come. He is here now and there is nothing Thanos can do about him. Chen Xi sorted out his thoughts and determined his current plan, feeling much more at ease. It's getting late, let's order some food. It's time for Wanda to wake up and eat. I raised my hand to look at the time and realized it was so late. I immediately called a 5-star hotel and booked a meal. This is a reward for yourself. After all, you are a rich man, so you should enjoy what you should enjoy, and Wanda also needs to supplement her nutrition. She bleeds for him, sheds water for him, and sheds tears for him. Chen Xi feels so guilty. Only when Wanda gets better can he serve her, otherwise he would be worse than a beast. It has to be said that the takeout service here in the United States is quite slow, even in 5-star hotels. From the time he placed the order to the time it was delivered to his door, he had to wait for 2 hours. Is this a snail? It costs more than $20 to run errands. Is this efficient? It seems that we need to find a nanny who can do laundry and cooking for us, otherwise she will be exhausted. Although he is good at washing and cooking, what can he do now? He is a man who conquered the universe. Isn't this a price drop? Wanda, come with me tomorrow. I bought a house in Dabai. The environment is better than here and it is safer. The hungry Wanda was feasting and Chen Xi took this opportunity to express his thoughts. When eating and talking, efficiency comes first. Sure enough, Wanda agreed without thinking. Okay, it's all up to you. Where does the little woman Wanda have any opinions? Do you want a billionaire to listen to her salary of $2,000 a month? Don't be ridiculous, they are not like the group of women who drank too much chicken soup more than 10 years later. Well, eat more, I still have things to do in the evening. Chen Xi blinked and looked like he understood. Whoever wants to do something, just get out. Wanda still doesn't understand his colorful heart, but she just can't stand it. Wanda was worried. She was afraid that she would be strangled to death, which would be a tragedy. If she ate too much, she would be strangled. Things that many women would not envy would give her a headache. By the way, I plan to find a nanny to do laundry and cooking for us. Oh, look for it, isn't this normal? Wanda replied a few words without raising her head. Well, don't be surprised when the time comes. The nanny I found is no ordinary person. Huh, is she from the second class? Wanda said mischievously. What I said is true, don't be surprised when the time comes. Okay, I'm curious. Wanda didn't believe it. Did she find a ghost, or were there horns on her head, or was there a tail behind her? Hey, secret. Chen Xi thought of Natasha. This must be quite touching. A black widow dressed as a maid. There is something. Chen Xi, who had been galloping on the grassland all night, was still full of energy. He also knew what Wanda was under when she got drunk. The beauty is touching. A vice president of the company where Wanda worked fell in love with Wanda. Everyone loves beauty, but if he wanted to use despicable means to threaten her, it would be a bit like rushing to reincarnate. Hammer Industries? Is it such a coincidence? I just prepared my future plans to be used on you and you just showed up. Hearing the news, Chen Xi really wanted to laugh. It was a coincidence. Wanda, don't go to work. In a few days, your husband and I will open a new company and then you will be my secretary. Let's also experience what a corrupt life is and create a group of super beautiful secretaries, hee 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 hee. This guy's thoughts were slipping and slipping and he went astray, almost drooling out. Go to hell, you are eating from the bowl and looking at the pot, you scumbag. I am really blind, let's break up. Break up, that won't work, you can't escape from my grasp. Have you ever seen that Cinderella escape from the clutches of a domineering president? Chen Xi shamelessly hugged Wanda and jerked her wildly for a while, making Wanda roll her eyes wildly. Would it be ******D? So shameless. You said I'm Cinderella, huh, scumbag? I was wrong, you are my little princess. It has been a long time coming, my princess. Under the threat of Wanda's two-finger bullet, he still compromised. His brother was already firmly under his control and Wanda was holding the emperor hostage to order the princes. While the two were fighting, Tony's iconic bohemian voice came from the TV news. SHH, dear, stop making trouble, important things are coming. Chen Xi quickly stopped Wanda who was biting him and the news he cared about came. Ooh, okay, it tastes terrible, ba ba ba. The obedient and honest Wanda got up obediently, rinsed her mouth, then sat on the sofa and watched TV. At this moment, Tony in a suit and tie was sitting with Obadiah Stan and talking. Nice to meet you, me too. Tony was the first to say hello with a hesitant tone. Obadiah Stane didn't notice any difference, thinking that Tony hadn't woken up yet because he often had such complete revelry. Tony stared at him and said, I didn't catch up with my father for the last time. I wanted to ask him what he thought about the production of arms. Have you ever been conflicted or wavered? He is still as strong as the media reported. At this time, Tony was a little excited and it seemed that everything about his father made it difficult for him to let go. The son does not know the father and the father does not know the son. When he was still alive, he never understood him and there were only endless quarrels between father and son. The tree wants to be quiet but the wind does not stop. The child wants to be nurtured but cannot be kissed. The death of his father is a pain that Tony can never let go of. From then on, heaven and man were separated and we never saw each other again. At this time, Obadiah Stan falsely patted Tony on the shoulder to show his care and love for him. Tony saw all this and he never believed that the uncle in front of him who had helped his family for 2 generations and loved him would kidnap him. Tony couldn't help but look at Obadiah Stane with emotion. Maybe Chen Xi said something wrong and thought wrongly. He has been so kind to me for decades. How is that possible? It's just that this is not the time to be moved. Dozens of people are looking at him eagerly, so he looked at everyone with some sadness and solemnity. I witnessed young soldiers being murdered with the very weapon I was meant to protect them with. I also found that I was becoming part of this irresponsible world. Hearing this, not only did Obadiah Stan's face change slightly, but the faces of the dozens of reporters below also changed wildly. Mr. Stark, what happened? Everyone stood up and asked Tony nervously. Tony also stood up and walked to the podium. As soon as I woke up, I realized that besides making weapons, I could contribute a lot to the world. At this time, Tony had already walked to the podium. He looked at everyone present seriously and said word by word with a serious expression, I decide. Shut down the Stark Industries weapons division, effective immediately. As soon as these words came out, there was an uproar immediately. Obadiah Stane, Pepper Potts, Rhodes, and all the reporters present stood up instantly. They looked at Tony in shock and shouted why. They're totally blown away. This news is like an atomic bomb going off in the Pacific. Their psychological defenses were instantly broken down. Click, click, click. The flash couldn't stop and the scene was a mess like a vegetable market. Obadiah Stane rushed up and pushed Tony down. Sorry, Tony just came back. Maybe he was drunk from the party last night. Sorry, everyone should go back first. We will discuss the next step of weapons plan internally and will inform you as soon as possible. In this way, Tony's press conference was terminated. Ha, you see, Stark Industries stock will plummet tomorrow and I can buy the bottom in a few days. The live TV broadcast ended here and Chen Xi cheered with joy, hugging Wanda for a while. Sure enough, everything is as planned. On the other side, Obadiah Stane found classmate Tony Stark with a sullen face. Tony, do you know how many points your Stark Industries stock will fall by what you just did? 40 points, maybe more. Tony shrugged and said nonchalantly, ha, good. As expected of the head of the Stark family, his courage is extraordinary. Obadiah Stane turned around and left angrily. He couldn't bear it anymore. Tony, this arrogant stumbling block, really needs to be kicked away. Hey, did you bring that steel mecha back? Now hurry up and research and improve it. Tony, this guy can use a hammer to knock out this big killer in a simple cave. Don't let me down. After leaving, Obadiah Stane gave the death order to his close men in a sinister manner. Yes, boss. Please don't worry. The man on the other end of the phone trembled with fear and swore in fear that this guy knew that he would be successful if he didn't succeed. After hanging up the phone, Obadiah Stane sat in the car quietly in a daze with a gloomy face, not knowing what he was thinking. The outside world has already exploded at this moment, and Tony's remarks have caused an uproar as expected. Fark, is Tony changing his ways? If Stark Industries doesn't make weapons, who will protect us? Damn Tony, our hard-earned money, sell the stocks quickly. Some people are cursing, some are gloating about the misfortune, some are just sitting back and watching, and most of them are panicked. Stark Industries seems to have jumped on the market, falling by the limit that day. The people are panicked, and the authorities are in ups and downs. Neither the military nor the government will easily allow Tony to give up the weapons manufacturing department. They couldn't listen to this damage report, and they didn't want to hear it. Whether they were military representatives or official representatives, they either gathered outside Tony's company office or blocked outside Tony's luxurious villa all day long. But Tony would not pay attention to them at all and disappeared, so they all received a rejection. In the laboratory below the villa, Tony is making his steel armor Mark II. As for the humble Mark generation, he has long since left it behind. His head is everything. Jarvis, install a jet device on the sole of the foot and we can fly, but the shock absorber must be fixed. Okay, sir. By the way, our arc reactor technology also needs to be improved. It needs to be smaller and more powerful. Add 2 grams of palladium. Okay, sir. Tony worked day and night to transform the world to the point of forgetting to sleep and eat. He has no idea that in less than a week, Stark Industries stock has fallen by the limit every day, and now it has fallen by 55% again. Countless stock investors were so heartbroken at the loss that they cried for their father and mother. As a result, countless people went bankrupt and embarked on the road of crime. There were also countless people who had no way to go and took the fast road of falling headfirst. They are a free country. Where do they get the savings? In desperation, the official can only distribute relief funds in large quantities to keep people alive. Otherwise, I will cause trouble for you at every turn. Go shopping on the street and smash some New York City Hall. What's the point? The key is the issue of support rate. Those in the opposition will not miss this great opportunity and preach everywhere about what they will do and how they will do it after they come up. This makes it difficult for the current officials to deal with it. They are taking advantage of the situation. They are so angry that their teeth are itching. The roots of their teeth are sore. Less than 500 meters next door to Tony, Chen Xi's luxurious villa was purchased. It cost about $5 million to acquire this luxurious villa covering an area of 10 acres. It is now 2009. This is an astronomical number. Okay, that's it. Chen Xi was so happy that he could almost buy the bottom. It fell so fast because the capital market couldn't accept it for a while. When they calm down, they will definitely rebound a lot. Wheeze, use 10 times leverage and go all out to acquire Stark Industries stock. Chen Xi gave the order decisively. During this week, he was not idle. He found an intermediary company to register the company and recruited several traders. Just wait for this wave of fatness. Anyway, it won't be long before Tony will announce that he is Iron Man and return with new energy. At that time, Stark Group's stock will reach its peak and be sold directly at that time. Boss, you are making a huge bet. This is $1 billion invested and the leverage is still 10 times. I said just in case, if we lose, we will lose nothing. When Weiss heard this order, he gave Chen Xi an analysis from his professional standpoint. Anyway, he was not optimistic about it. He hoped that Chen Xi would stop. This was a loss-making deal. No, just listen to me. Chen Xi will naturally not waver in the slightest. What do you NPC natives know? Okay, you are the boss, you have the final say. Weiss shrugged and gave up the persuasion. When the boss speaks, he just listens. It's not his money anyway. He just gave it a kind reminder before. In this way, Chen Xi used $1 billion and 10 times leverage to directly acquire individual shares outside Stark Industries. When the stock investors saw that there were fools taking over the market, they became even more happy when they sold. Haha, interesting, there is a fool, sell it quickly. That's wrong. Why is this person still swimming upstream? Something is wrong, there must be something wrong. No matter what his problem is, he might still be dreaming of buying the bottom and waiting for Stark Industries stock to rebound. That's right, it's just that if you sell now, you'll still lose a little less. No, you can sell it and I will follow his example. In the stock trading floor, everyone was talking about this fool who suddenly appeared. Just sell it if you can at this time, why do you care so much? Of course, there are also experts with a sensitive sense of smell who feel an unusual smell and suspect that it is a game. This is a shocking scam set by Stark Industries and they are going to end up cutting leaks. Several bad news have been released, and this time Tony announced the dissolution of the weapons manufacturing department just to cut leaks. The previous news of Tony's disappearance was just the beginning, causing the stock to plummet, reaching $220 per share. Now they have announced the disbandment of the weapons manufacturing department and another depth bomb which will directly cut the stock price in half. They want to drive down the stock price? Then buy back. It's like cashing out tens of billions of dollars at a price of $100 per share and then releasing bad news that directly lowers the stock price to $10. Then they use the cash out money to buy ultra-low stocks priced at $10 per share. It's so exciting to cut such a big wave of leaks. Use investors' money to buy investors' stocks, then release good information and raise the stock price again. Leaks were harvested repeatedly for unknown reasons. This is the sinister intention and despicable practice of capital. People with a sensitive sense of smell already feel that they are possessed by Conan and the stock god has joined him. I am the boss who makes everyone drunk but I am sober. F***K, this treacherous Tony Stark uses our money to pick up women and stars. Hush, don't make any noise, we also buy these retail investors. Yes, that's right, sneak into the village quietly and don't want any shooters. Yoshi, a devil like you who lived a small life is still good at playing. This is how you can make a fortune in silence. Tony Stark, a playboy and arrogant guy, doesn't believe a single punctuation mark in his words. After Chen Xi disrupted the situation, people who thought they were smart followed suit one after another and Stark's stock, which was about to collapse, miraculously rose by a few points quickly. Of course this has nothing to do with Chen Xi, he has spent all his money long ago. Time passed and another week passed and Obadiah Stan finally couldn't bear it anymore. The bunch of rubbish in his private research laboratory couldn't develop a more advanced arc reactor. Mark I's reactor was too crude. In the movie, it was scrapped not long after. After all, let alone the craftsmanship under those conditions, being able to start up is the halo of the protagonist. After scolding a group of researchers, Obadiah Stan decided to sneak up on Tony Stark because he had something better. Ding-a-ling, jing-a-ling, the bell rings. Tony sat on the sofa at night and answered the call immediately. This was a call from Pepper Pepper. With Tony's wisdom and Chen Xi's words, he always felt that there was something wrong, so Peibo was asked to investigate quietly. At this moment the phone rang. Something must have gone wrong. Just the next second he was paralyzed and couldn't move. A figure slowly walked out from behind him and Tony lay on the sofa with a pale face. "Tony, are you listening?" Seeing that no one was speaking, Pepper Pepper shouted again on the other end of the phone, but at this moment the situation was already under control by Obadiah Stane. "Remember this thing?" Obadiah Stane shook the guy in his hand proudly. "This temporary paralysis device can be used in many places. Tony, when I ordered your assassination, I was worried that I was killing a golden chicken that laid golden eggs. But look, you survived, it's your life." As he spoke, he took the instrument and forcibly removed the reactor from Tony's chest. "You are destined to lay this last golden egg." Playing with the arc reactor in his hand, Obadiah Stane finally showed a proud grin. The reactor where Tony's golden rooster hatched became his final swan song. Tony, who lost the arc reactor, was in critical condition. His breathing became difficult to maintain, his blood no longer flowed, and his heart no longer had the power to supply blood to the whole body. Ha ha ha. "Tony, enjoy your last moments. I, Obadiah Stane, will lead Stark Industries to the top and be heard all over the world. Don't worry, I won't change the name of the group. After all, your Stark family has a very good reputation, ha ha ha." This is a typical example of murder and heart-crushing. Not only does this guy want to take over the Stark group, but he also wants to use the reputation of the Stark family to pave the way for him. Obadiah Stane is really cruel, and Tony has the word regret carved on his forehead. He regretted that he did not follow Chen Xi's suggestion and did not really investigate the mastermind behind the scenes. He only let Pepper Pepper observe in secret. If he hadn't been arrogant, the result might not have been like this, right? Obadiah Stane felt even more proud when he saw the remorseful Tony. He vented out all the hatred he had hidden in his heart for decades. He was so happy, very happy, he took off. "Once I stand up and make the decision, I wish the whole world would know about it." Taking the step of not recognizing his relatives, Obadiah Stane left the villa with wild laughter. Tony, who stayed in place, did not give up resistance. He knew that he must seize the time now. There is no one at home at this point. Even if Banner is at home, he can help him so that he will not end up in this situation. I couldn't move at all. I called others and waited for them to rescue me. I was already cold. Gia Weiss, tell Chen Xi." Tony struggled to call Jarvis, knowing in his heart that only Chen Xi could teleport to save him at this time. Even if it means paying a huge price, it doesn't matter to him. He can't care so much. The dog's life is at stake. "Yes, sir." Jarvis took action immediately and called Chen Xi's cell phone. "Hello, is this Mr. Chen Xi?" "It's me, Jarvis." When Chen Xi answered the phone, he knew that something had happened to Tony, just like in the plot. "Mr. Stark is dying and urgently needs your help. Please come to his home as soon as possible." "No problem, I'll go now, thank you, sir." Jarvis thanked him repeatedly. He is a semi-intelligent existence. It has to be said that this existence is a bug. Without Jarvis, there would be no Iron Man. Any data and any model were completed with his help. This is 2009, the Marvel world is really awesome. After hanging up the phone, Chen Xi laughed happily. It was time to pluck wool again. You can't beat him to death in one step. What the movie Leo Bastian said is absolutely right. Tony is the golden chicken that can only lay golden eggs. Whoosh. Chen Xi teleported directly to Tony. Looking at Tony, who was pale and livid, he actually smiled heartlessly. "Ha ha ha, Tony, what kind of look do you have? It's very unique. Come on, take a photo and remember it for a while. I have to auction this precious moment in the future." After saying that, he took out his cell phone and clicked and slapped Tony hard. Tony, who was already pale, looked even worse now. The difficult breathing was already uncomfortable, and I was so angry that I couldn't even take a breath and I almost burped. Quick, save me. Wait, eyes, okay, I will definitely pinch you to death." Even at this time, Tony is still very talkative. It is estimated that he knew that his life was saved and the fear in his heart was reduced a lot. "For what you said, my conditions have changed again." Okay, I don't want more. 1 billion US dollars is not excessive, right? It won't embarrass you too much, right? Chen Xi said coquettishly, grinning from ear to ear. It's a pleasure to kill this big dog. Just move your fingers and small amounts of money will come out. What are you doing? Give me the money quickly or I'll leave. Chen Xi threatened again and stood up directly to show his actions. He will really leave. Whether Iron Man dies or not has nothing to do with me, okay? There are plenty of Iron Man in other universes. When Tony saw it, he immediately panicked. The dog's life was at stake. The dog's life was at stake. I promise. I don't know where he got the strength, but he was able to say a whole string of words. It seems that people's potential is endless. If you don't push yourself, you will never know where your potential is. Hey, just promise. Nice to work with, Mr. Tony Stark. Chen Xi smiled proudly and walked to the underground laboratory where there was an old arc reactor. If you put that on him, it won't kill anyone. With a sizzle, Tony was resurrected with full health. Oh shit, thank God it feels good to be alive. Wrong, you shouldn't thank God, you should thank me and the Green Franklin. Tony sighed on the other side, but Chen Xi interrupted him on the other side. Oh, what the hell, you be *****D, let me think about it, you stole more than 2 billion from me, damn you guy. It's okay not to mention this, but Tony's heart is bleeding when he mentions it. He gets up early and works hard day and night. Is it easy to make some money? This robber steals money whenever he comes. Haha, Tony, you will have to pay for it later, do you believe it? Next time it's 2 lives and $2 billion. Chen Xi smiled mysteriously and pretended to be a magic stick. His weird smile made Tony's heart skip a beat. He remembered Pepper. There's danger. Obadiah Stan knows about Peppo stealing information. He has to save Pei-Bo. Fake. He almost forgot about this matter. Thank Chen Xi. Chen Xi, thank you, I have to go. After Tony finished speaking, he rushed into the basement, put on his steel armor and flew in the direction of Pepper. Haha, Tony, your money can't escape. Looking at the steel armor that left in a hurry, Chen Xi said disapprovingly. Tony's flight is quite fast, and now he is flying all the way wearing Mark III steel armor. He has already let Jarvis locate Peppo's position. Not surprisingly, Pepper is at the Stark Group headquarters because she has nowhere to escape. The long tail flames brought by the steel armor are so dazzling and eye-catching in the dark night sky. At this moment, Tony is like a firefly in the dark night. The New York metropolis is the busiest at night with people coming and going. A busy day calls for a relaxing night. They saw the steel armor streaking across the night sky and the whole of New York was boiling. I don't know if I've watched too many sci-fi movies, but clips from their popular sci-fi movies actually appeared. God. Is this an alien invasion? Hey, what is this? The mecha from the movie? Cool. I don't know how much this guy costs and whether he can produce it at scale. Wake up, you can't afford it. Go back and take a nap. You will have everything in your dreams. No, let me come. I'll wake him up with a pee. I wonder what kind of genius could invent this. Would Tony Stark make it? Yes. The direction he is flying is Stark headquarters. It's Tony Stark for sure. Wherever Tony passed, people stopped to watch and countless people cheered, roared, and whistled at him. This made Tony's vanity explode. It would be great to be an Iron Man who maintains world peace. The appearance of Chen Xi finally disrupted the course of the world. As the butterfly became stronger, it would set off huge waves every time it flapped its wings. Tony did not act chivalrously before this but plunged into the laboratory to study new armors. He saw how powerful Chen Xi was, which made him feel very insecure. He wanted to make himself stronger. He was already thinking about whether to create an anti-Chen Xi armor, specifically targeting Chen Xi's various superpowers. Of course, Tony invented many anti-war armors in his life, such as the anti-Hulk armor, the anti-Magneto armor, the anti-Phoenix armor, the anti-Swarm Galactus armor, etc. Of course, anyone who opposes him will be beaten. But this is also progress. No matter what, he has really made progress. Soon, Tony had arrived at Stark Tower. At this moment, Peppermint began to deal with Iron Overlord in the small space of Stark Tower. Peppo, you run towards the rooftop of Stark Tower now. I can't lock your position now. Tony quickly asked her to run to a conspicuous place. He didn't know that Obadiah Stan was already wearing the Iron Overlord and wreaking havoc without restraint. No, Tony, listen to me, now Obadiah Stan has also made steel armor and his looks bigger. He is also following me now, I don't want you to take risks. Tony doesn't know but Pepper does, she would rather sacrifice herself than take Tony's risk. What, he also has a steel armor, fake? When Tony heard this, he cursed loudly, no wonder this old guy attacked him sneakily for this reason. But despite the scolding, he would not give up little Pepper. He shouted loudly, no matter how much, you go to the rooftop now and I will pick you up and take you to the ground. I don't believe that anyone in this world can make a steel suit that can compete with the great Tony Stark. Pepper was so moved when she heard that she was almost moved to tears. This is the man she likes and he will never abandon her at any time. Yeah, I listen to you. Pepper was moved and hung up the phone. With a strong woman character, she was naturally not as lazy as a little girl. The next moment she ran towards the rooftop with all her strength. The Iron Overlord behind him was chasing after him. This woman almost ruined his big business, how could he let her go? Through the thermal imaging scan, the Iron Overlord was rampaging unscrupulously, crushing desks, chairs, walls, and so on. Tony on the other side just hung up the phone and immediately asked Jarvis to make a call. Chen Xi, save me. I just pretended to be a big contest. Now that I'm fine, I just screamed for help. Shameless, isn't this extreme shamelessness? The appearance fee is $1 billion per life. Deal, boss, help. Tony was scared. Of course, he wasn't afraid of that bullshit Obadiah Stan on his own, but now with two people, how could the flesh and blood little Pepper stop the steel armor? After getting Chen Xi's answer, he finally felt relieved. Pepper, who was riding in the elevator, finally reached the top floor. Obadiah Stan also knew her intention and had already broken the glass wall and flew to the rooftop first. Hey, let's see if you survive. He seemed to have seen what happened to that woman and he let out a deep, sinister smile. What's going on? Tony, you're not dead? Fake, you are such a scourge for thousands of years. You escaped death last time, but you survived this time. As soon as he turned around, he saw a S*****Y gold-red armor slowly appearing from behind him. Naturally, he had seen Tony's steel armor before. Obadiah Stan, Chen Xi told me that you would harm me. I really can't believe what he said. You are the uncle who watched me grow up. Why, tell me why you do this. Tony's voice was a little low, a little sad, and more angry. He couldn't figure it out. Why, your father and you have made so much money relying on your inventive talent and your life is extremely comfortable. But what about me? I do all the trivial meetings and negotiations, but all I get is 5% of the shares. You guys disappoint me so much. You're blocking my way to make money. When Obadiah Stan was asked the reason, all his past emotions suddenly exploded and he asked hysterically. Sorry, it seems you are unbalanced. Tony shrugged, finally understanding and giving too much. He struck again mercilessly. It seems that I gave you too much, which made you have greater desires. The old man should not have given you shares in the first place, making you more greedy. Tony's words angered Obadiah Stan even more. He thought that he was conscientious and accomplished, yet he was treated like this. Obadiah Stan was furious. F***ku. As soon as he finished speaking, he raised his huge steel fist and hit Tony's helmet hard. Boom! Upon seeing this, Tony immediately raised his right arm to block his head, and this time the two met head-on. What surprised Tony was that he was no match for Obadiah Stan. With a heavy blow, Tony was forced to kneel down on one knee. Tony, maybe you are very flexible, but unfortunately your defense and attack are not as good as mine. I have studied your steel armor, but you know nothing about me, Seeing Tony being stunned by him, Obadiah Stan was so happy that he directly mocked him. HMPH, so what, you can't catch me? Tony snorted coldly, not willing to suffer any loss. Squeak, the door is open. At this time, Pepper arrived late and it was really not the right time. Tony, God is going to kill you. Obadiah Stan felt that God was on his side. The wild laughter echoed throughout the rooftop as if victory was already within reach. Neuropathy. Tony snorted disdainfully. Obadiah Stan here is an old fox and he seized this opportunity to directly threaten Tony. Hey kid, don't move or I'll kill her with one shot, she's quite fragile. Okay, I won't move, I surrender. Tony pretended to be afraid of a rat and raised his hands in surrender. Tony, I'm sorry, it's all me who has dragged you down, please leave me alone and kill him to avenge me. Pepper burst into tears as if she was saying her final farewell. Good guy, this rivalry scene is really touching. It perfectly interprets the drama of a romantic idol and a domineering president. Peppa, please stop being sensational, okay? I'm so embarrassed when I hear that, what's the matter? Suddenly, a ghost-like figure appeared on the rooftop, forcibly interrupting their impromptu performance. Who the hell, are you looking for death? Obadiah Stan spoke impatiently without raising his head as if he was chasing away a fly. Oh, when the little tortoise wears its shell and you sew inserts green onions, what are you pretending to be? Chen Xi wouldn't be polite to a dead person, he would just yell at him regardless of whether you understood him or not. Ah, it's you. Obadiah Stane was shocked. The mysterious threat that Chen Xi brought to him was so great that he had no idea what the tactics were. The masters he sent out could not see anyone alive or dead. In the end, he came to the conclusion that Chen Xi was an advanced mutant. It's me, old man, are you surprised? Are you surprised? Chen Xi smiled brightly, he kind of liked this feeling of cat playing with mouse. You think I am at 100 meters but I am at 1,000 meters. You think I'm 10,000 meters away and I'm in the atmosphere. You think I'm in the atmosphere, I'm in outer space. Seeing Chen Xi so proud, Obadiah Stan was naturally dissatisfied. Today I want to see what you can do to me. After saying that, he was about to take action but was interrupted by Chen Xi. Stop, your opponent is Tony Stark, not me, bye-bye. Chen Xi didn't give them any time to react, hugged Peibo and ran away. What fuck, Chen Xi, you shameless guy, Tony was yelling, he was no match for this iron overlord, damn it, why can't you hug my woman who is deliberately hugging me, oh. Shet you be ****d, ha, Tony, he ran away and took your woman with him, ha, you're dead, the woman still belongs to someone else. Oh, this is the best ending, just die. Obadiah Stan didn't expect that he also had the attribute of talking and attacking. Even though Tony knew that Chen Xi was just after money, he was still angry to death from this iron *****d. Tony also rushed forward and the two of them were protected by their iron shells. It was a crazy attack. Dang. The powerful sound of metal collision is quite pleasant. If you hit me, I will give you a slap in the face with my backhand. You jump up and hit me on the knee, I'll hit you on the waist, but I won't suffer anyway. The two of them went back and forth and had a great time. After testing each other, they could only produce some metallic flames, which was of no use. However, the Tony Mark III armor is equipped with pulse cannons, micro-missiles, shoulder 6-barrel mini cannons and decoys and can target multiple targets at the same time. So he chose fire suppression. This is the real killer move, before he was just playing around. He wanted to choose a quick victory. After all, he was carrying an old arc reactor with limited energy. Bang. In a flash of light, dozens of small steel cannons and micro-missiles flew towards the Iron Overlord as expected, but the effect was not satisfactory. Except for some grooves and some paint peeling off, the Iron Overlord is completely fine. This guy's defense is surprisingly strong. Haha, Tony, what do you think, this is titanium nickel alloy? Obadiah Stan's proud laughter was a bit harsh, and this guy was not the one who suffered the loss. Immediately, they also used heavy weapons to attack. The flexible Mark III mecha dodged left and right, danced an aerial ballet, and barely escaped the large-scale indiscriminate attack. However, it was still hit by several artillery shells and some parts were seriously damaged, especially the weapon system. Jarvis, how much energy do you still have now? Tony asked quickly, running away if he couldn't beat him. He was not a hero. Anyway, Pepper had been rescued. Sir, there is still 20% energy left. There is still such a point? Then why not run away? There is still Pepper in the movie. Tony can't help it. Things are different this time. The wind is blowing. Want to run? Obadiah Stan took a look and thought, how can that be done? Pew. A few micro-missiles chased Tony and flew over at high speed. At this time, Iron Overlord was also chasing after him, but it was a little slower. However, the tracking missile had already caught up with Tony, and he fell to the ground just like in the movie, causing a series of traffic accidents. Boom! On the elevated platform, Iron Overlord suddenly landed. He looked down at Tony and stamped his foot fiercely, ready to trample Tony to death. At this time, Tony rolled around like a lazy asterisk, dodging narrowly and narrowly. Chen Xi, what should I do? Help Tony, I will give you whatever you want. After seeing Tony in danger, Little Pepper pulled Chen Xi anxiously and begged, almost crying to him. Chen Xi was stunned. At this point the two of them were getting along like this. Wasn't it supposed to be when the extremis virus appeared? You want me? Isn't this not good? If it really doesn't work, don't let Tony know about it. When Little Pepper saw Chen Xi looking at him, he immediately misunderstood, thought wrongly, blushed with embarrassment, and hesitated to speak out in embarrassment. What, sister, what about you? Chen Xi shuddered hard and couldn't afford to eat. Maybe only Tony loves this one, and the aesthetic gap between them is indeed a bit big. Peppa, you are thinking too much. There is an old saying in our country that a friend's wife should not be bullied. I promise Tony will be fine, don't worry. Chen Xi quickly assured that these ladies are a bit tough. That's great, thank you. Peppa was so happy when she saw that she no longer had to sacrifice herself. Then I'll go over, don't leave here. Yeah, don't worry. After telling Pebo, Chen Xi suddenly appeared on the battlefield. Hi Tony, how are you? Chen Xi looked at Tony with a smile, his face full of ridicule, not caring that this was a battlefield. Quick, stop talking nonsense and kill him. Tony was so scared that he couldn't die. The greatest sorrow in the world is that people die and the money is not spent. Tony hasn't had enough fun yet. There are so many celebrities and models waiting for his money and small steel cannons. No rush. Chen Xi said slowly and then turned to look at Obadiah Stan. Hey old guy, Tony offered 1 billion. How many billion are you going to offer to buy Tony's life? What? Do you think this is an auction? Auctioning us both? Is there any natural reason for this? Is there any law? Both of them were so angry that they vomited blood. What are you doing? Stop nagging, my time is very precious, it costs hundreds of thousands per second. Chen Xi immediately became impatient when he saw the iron B *****D grinding his teeth. Haha, okay. Obadiah Stan was stunned for a moment and then realized it would be easy to deal with this guy just because he is a money addict, he just needs to be obsessed with money. I offer 1.5 billion to take Tony's life. He immediately added 500 million. Chen Xi was delighted. Big dog owners, they are all big dog owners. He turned to look at Tony again and motioned for Tony to increase the price. Fark, you be ****D. Tony cursed secretly. It was so unlucky to meet this scammer. He didn't dare to risk his own life. He and Chen Xi have only known each other for a few weeks. Who knows what his attitude is? Tony shouted, I will offer 2 billion. Very good. Tony bids 2 billion. 2 billion times, twice a billion. 20 billion, etc. Just when Chen Xi was about to deliberately prolong his tone, Obadiah Stan quickly interrupted. I'll pay 2.5 billion. Damn it, he doesn't dare to bet. Who knows how capable this guy is? Everyone at the scene was stunned. 500 to 600 people on the elevated line were stunned. A great battle turned into an auction. Where are you having fun? Where are you having fun? The Melaneaters were speechless. What the hell? Wait, they are Tony Stark and Obadiah Stane? Fack, what a super news. There's an earthquake? Is this the collapse of Stark Industries? What hatred, what grudges? Do you want us to live or die? Who is this guy in the middle? He's so awesome, he actually auctioned off 2 people's lives. 666, mutant, must be a mutant. The scene was abuzz and there was a lot of discussion. Give full play to the melon-eating spirit of not being afraid of death and eat melon bravely. Click, click, if you don't have a camera, take out your phone and take photos. Haha, Obadiah Stane offered 2.5 billion. Tony, how much did you offer? Chen Xi was already excited. The money came so fast like a tornado. He was really a genius. Fun, it doesn't matter whether it's money or not, it's just fun. He is not a money addict. Absolutely not. Chen Xi has been afraid of poverty since he was a child. He is extremely obsessed with money. He doesn't want to go hungry or cold anymore. Tony is in pain now. Someone has taken advantage of him. He endured the pain in his liver and gritted his teeth and said, "I'm offering 3 billion, which is really the last price." "Okay, Tony bids 3 billion, 3 billion once, twice." Obadiah Stan couldn't stand it anymore. This was just a joke. He didn't believe it and couldn't beat him to death, but Chen Xi's mouth was like a machine gun. He said it twice, which almost annoyed him to death. I can't stand it anymore, I'll fight you." He was so angry that he couldn't bear it anymore, and he jumped up, ready to crush Chen Xi to death with a mountain of weight. "Okay, let's do it. Fight, fight quickly." The audience was cheering, they were jumping for joy. Haha, can't bear it anymore. Looking at Iron Overlord Chen Xi flying up, he snorted coldly. In the expectant eyes of everyone, Chen Xi slowly opened his hand and gently shook the giant in the sky. Click, click, click. In their horrified eyes, the terrifying steel armor in the sky froze instantly. Create ice out of thin air, ignore the conservation of energy. What ability is this? Such a powerful mutant ability. So strong, incredible. Wow, cool, this is so handsome. Mutants are so scary, look this. Oh my god. How can it be so strong? How is it possible? How is it possible? Yes, they were completely paralyzed on the ground in fear. Chen Xi was so terrifying. In full view of everyone, the Iron Overlord was shattered to pieces. The super low temperature directly freezes this super alloy until it breaks into pieces. How terrifyingly low is this? If this were applied to people, wouldn't it freeze into powder? This. Not only Tony was so fierce that he swallowed his saliva, but everyone also did the same thing. They feel their throats are a little dry. Why? The air conditioning sucked in is too much. Tony was a little unbelievable, he simply didn't believe it. He knew that Chen Xi was very strong. Killing hundreds of people was like trampling hundreds of ants to death, and he also had many abilities. But who can tell him that this is ridiculously strong? The Iron Overlord, who can do nothing about micromissiles, armor-piercing projectiles, and energy cannons, has become such a scumbag. What's wrong with me? Chen Xi smiled at him as if he had crushed an ant to death, not caring. In fact, he was already secretly feeling happy. This was a little bit more fun than just pretending. Haven't you seen the looks of fear all around you? That's enough. Tony took a deep breath and forced himself to calm down. It's nothing. I never expected you to be so strong. I don't even know how to describe such power. Among the mutants, you are the most powerful, right? Tony seemed to be complimenting Chen Xi, but in fact he was inquiring about the mutant's background. Mutants are too low-key and only show up occasionally. They don't have any information, but many information files are in paper form. This kind of information is safe. In the online world, S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't trust it at all. Just look at Jarvis and you will know that the S.H.I.E.L.D. database is like Tony's back garden and can be invaded at any time. Tony is insecure about any unknown and he has to prepare for the worst. It is possible that the first person he kills is Chen Xi. This man is so dangerous, he knows everything, as if he can predict the past and the future. Haha, Tony, that's a good question. Chen Xi could tell by looking at Tony's uncertain eyes that he really wanted to kill him, and he probably wanted to research some anti-Chen Xi armor. The first one is to research what kind of material armor can withstand absolute zero, right? He doesn't mind fooling Tony, and putting some pressure on him can give him some motivation, right? The Marvel world wouldn't be fun without Tony Stark. Chen Xi felt that he was tired of playing, so he must open Tony's skull to see if there was any gem of wisdom inside. Let's see how awesome this man cursed by knowledge is and whether he is really so invincible. Chen Xi said modestly, people like me are really too weak in this universe, as weak as dust. Not to mention far away there are about 10 mutants stronger than me. Which 10? Tony blurted out. He never imagined that there would be so many powerful people, so where should ordinary humans go? Chen Xi glanced at Tony jokingly, who smiled awkwardly. If you continue to fool me, you will be fooled. My wives are better than me. Tony was stunned, that's it. Who knows who your wife is? What else? Also, they are not born yet, they will be soon. But don't despair. The power of human beings is equally powerful, which is incredible to you. If I can't give you darkness, I won't give you light, right? It wouldn't be fun to scare you into losing your fighting spirit. Chen Xi's words finally ignited Tony. Do we also have a powerful existence? But think about it, if you have powerful mutants, you can't have powerful humans. This is not a conflict. Excited Tony couldn't wait to ask. Who are they? How about the most powerful mutant? Chen Xi saw this and smiled slightly. Want to know, can you tell me about the consulting fee? Tony was very hurt. Damn it, this guy who wants money, could he be cheating on him again? In an instant, he thumped, and his inner vigilance instantly turned red. This guy wasn't just trying to fool me by just giving me a few names, was he? As long as money is discussed, Tony's balls will ache. He has been cheated too much. But the curiosity that was aroused was like a cat scratching. It was extremely itchy. Eventually, Tony gave in. How much? $100 million. Hiss, Tony gasped again. Everyone said that he, Tony Stark, made money quickly, but he was weak compared to Chen Xi. Okay. I agree. Tony gritted his teeth and said bitterly. Hey, you know Mr. Tony Stark is a rich man. Chen Xi chuckled and continued to say leisurely under Tony's extremely painful gaze, I'm telling you, don't spread the word or you may risk your life. The Earth lineage includes the Supreme Mage Ancient One, the Supreme Mage Doctor Strange, and the Cosmic Warrior Captain Marvel. Of course, there is also the demigod Star-Lord. He is the strongest. Of course, the strongest among them in the future is you, Tony Stark. In the future, you save the entire universe. Fool hard, who knows the future anyway? I won't stop until I fool him. Isn't Star-Lord comparable to mortals in the body of a god? Isn't he so powerful that it's puzzling? Watfak, I can understand what you said before. The name sounds very impressive, but when you mention me, the key is that I saved the universe, so this is nonsense. Tony listened very carefully at first. These were powerful people he had never heard of before. What a big secret. But in the end, I actually have myself. Am I the savior? Fark, the stars are still the same stars, the cheaters are still the cheaters, nothing has changed. Believe it or not, alas, these days trust between people is completely gone. To be honest, no one believes it. I'm leaving. Oh, by the way, there is a total of $1 billion today. Don't forget to call me and be quick. Chen Xi waved his hand and said with an indifferent expression, then he swished and teleported away from here. Let Tony clean up the mess, he will kill but not bury. In a wasteland on the outskirts, Chen Xi suddenly appeared. It seemed interesting, but he came a little late. A sizzling sound, 2 dim doors of light suddenly appeared and a dozen N**G**S rushed out of them. The Time Guardians are here. It had only been a few days, and when he changed the timeline a little, the other party realized that he had arrived in a certain universe. There is something coming from the Mutation Administration at this time. However, Chen Xi is no longer Wu Ziameng, and he will look upon him with admiration after 3 days apart. As soon as this group of people appeared, they threw out a time deceleration device, which instantly slowed down the flow of time 16 times within a radius of 100 meters. It's a pity that Chen Xi knows their methods well and he is not the fool like Loki who insists on pretending to compete. Whoosh, immediately teleport a few hundred meters away from that cheating area. What's going on? How does this kid have superpowers? Fake. It's only been a few days and it's growing up a bit fast. Is this teleportation? It shouldn't be. How could he do it? I can't understand. We must be dreaming. These guys can't help but hate each other. It completely violates scientific principles. Everything was like a dream. They were completely down. However, soon they could no longer speak and their thoughts fell into eternal darkness. Because Chen Xi takes action. Poor puppets, let me help you escape and end this miserable life. Please don't thank me, I am Lei Hong. They don't know what Chen Xi is talking about, puppet. Sad, liberated, they don't understand, but they don't need to understand. Because in their horrified eyes they discovered that their teammates were slowly turning into ice sculptures, and then in their horrified eyes, bang, bang, bang. It exploded into a pile of powder and flew away with the wind. My hair is a meter thick, immeasurable heavenly lord, may you give birth to a good child in your next life. Looking at the evaporating time guard, Chen Xi murmured softly. Is this the life of an ant? A game between big shots, they are not even cannon fodder. Ding, the host kills the elite time guards and gets 200 points of bioenergy. Ding, the host kills the elite time guard team leader and gets 500 points of bioenergy. Bite, A series of sounds sounded, and Chen Xi gained a total of 2,500 points of bioenergy, which was a great harvest and a pleasure. Outside the multiverse, the alarm bells of the mysterious Time Variation Administration rang loudly, and the piercing sirens made the justice palpitate. Come here, what happened?" She got up angrily and walked out, shouting. At this time, a gray ghost civilian employee hurried over and said out of breath, "Sorry, Your Excellency, something happened to the universe numbered 199,999. The entire team was wiped out while the Time Guards were capturing the Time criminals. And in the Doomsday timeline of 2387, Loki once again killed our team of Time Guards." The more the guy talked, the more frightened he became because the heavy breathing of the justice told him that his anger could not be suppressed and the volcano was about to erupt. Fark, these two bastards, damn it. The justice frowned and paced back and forth. After a few seconds, she suddenly stopped. "Ignore Chen Xi for now, use all your strength to capture Loki and send people to Chen Xi's universe to monitor him closely. We don't have to arrest him, but we can use others to discuss this annoying guy." After taking a deep breath for a long time, the chief judge suppressed his anger, calmed down, and issued the order. "Yes, Your Honor." The person who came quickly agreed and left quickly. Staying for one more second would be torture. The justice looked at the back of the leaving guy and fell into deep thought. She had to make a choice. Chen Xi was just a time criminal and had no intention of subverting the Time Variation Administration. But female Loki is different. She wants to overthrow the Time Variation Administration. She knows which is more important. "HMPH, Chen Xi, I'll take care of you when I get my hands on it." The woman snorted coldly and disappeared slowly. Chen Xi on the other side picked up the weapon left on the ground and smiled mysteriously. "This thing is used for sneak attacks, but it is quite good. It is a good thing to be directly exiled to the Doomsday timeline." When he finished cleaning the battlefield, he sat down quietly, because the real harvest comes. Ding! Congratulations to the host for disrupting the plot of Iron Man 1, changing the fate of a series of people, and rewarding the host with 2 million points. Ding! Congratulations to the host for disrupting the plot of Steel 1. The host is rewarded with an umbrella hive base. It has been placed in the system space for the host and can be withdrawn and placed at any time. Ding! Congratulations to the host for disrupting the plot of Steel 1. The host will be rewarded with a bodyguard for android number 18 in the main world. Every time the system dinged, a smile appeared on Chen Xi's face. Great harvest, this is giving money, giving equipment, giving it back to people. When did the system become so generous, comfortable? Hey system, what's going on? Return to the host. Every time you end a major plot, the system will calculate the reward based on the degree of damage to the host. Chen Xi was immediately overjoyed and almost laughed. "If that's the case, that would be great. Let's break these guys down before we talk. This is completely in line with my own ideas. Step on people, play with people, take girls by the way, and reach the peak of life. Let these NPC natives feel the fear of being dominated by themselves. System, let's summon android number 18 first. Brother, I have a bodyguard too, and a beautiful one too." Ding! As the host wishes, start summoning android number 18. As soon as the system finished speaking, a space crack appeared in front of Chen Xi's eyes again. This time it was no one else but a peerless beauty from the comics. This is android number 18. The system is based on the prototype of android number 18. She is the same as number 18 Yi Mao in the comics, with short blonde wavy hair, charming big amber eyes, and a tall, sexy, and alluring figure. The ripples of light flowed between the movements, and the trembling movements were particularly moving. The system understood him and specially modified it. Chen Xi also knew that this beautiful and charming woman was not just a vase, a powerful artificial person modified based on human beings. Due to the permanent energy furnace, she has unlimited energy. Her cells age very slowly and she is not prone to aging. There is no need to eat, she only needs to add some water. He has a calm and mysterious temperament and does not show any fear. However, he is also a bit stubborn and is not good at expressing his true feelings. He likes to provoke others with his words, but he actually has a heart that cares for others. She has a somewhat arrogant personality. She doesn't care about others on the surface, but she still cares a lot on the inside. Like an ordinary human being, she also likes dressing up and money. Just when Chen Xi was looking at number 18 with great satisfaction, number 18 was also looking at him. Is this guy my master? I just don't know what his strength is. She was created by the system and the memory is naturally from this world. There is no other memory. I saw him moving lightly, twisting his sexy waist and slowly approaching Chen Xi, spitting fragrant orchid. Dear master, am I beautiful? As he spoke, Chen Xi was pushed to the ground. With long white legs stretched across his waist, number 18 looked like a knight staring at Chen Xi with burning eyes. Chen Xi swallowed hard. Did happiness come so suddenly? You are quite beautiful, but can you change the way you look? No, I like this. Number 18's beautiful eyes widened and she refused with unusual force because she had already felt it. Next is her solo performance. But the stubborn female knight does not admit defeat and must face the difficulties. The sky is the quilt and the earth is the bed, and the moon in the darkness shines on the earth, adding a touch of mystery to the number 18. Of course, it would be perfect if the red handprints on the cotton hemisphere can't be seen. You go ahead and wash it and help me clean it up as well. Chen Xi condensed the water vapor in the air and turned it into a downpour, giving no 18 and himself a cold shower. Chen Xi remained motionless, actually immersed in the system. This guy still had some discernment and didn't bother him when he was doing important things. Ding, the plot character number 18 has been detected. Please ask the host if he can extract his abilities. Since number 18 has multiple abilities, 1 million points are required to extract them. Withdrawal, isn't it just 1 million? Ding, host, please wait a moment, the ability is being extracted. The situation this time was the same as last time. The same slot machine appeared in front of him with the ability of number 18 marked on it. Dance air technique, Qigong wave, super speed movement, Qi circle slash. Biu 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 boom, super speed moving icon explosion. Ding, congratulations to the host for gaining super speed. Do you want to extract the fusion now? Merge, ding, fusion is starting, host please wait. Time passed and the fusion was completed. Ding, the fusion is complete, please feel it for yourself, the host. Chen Xi closed his eyes and started moving at super speed. For a moment, the whole time seemed to stop and everything stopped moving. When Quicksilver started to move at super speed, the whole world seemed to have been pressed on the pause button, so this is how he feels now. Huh, what's going on, strange? Master, do you also have the ability to move at super speed? Number 18 looked at Chen Xi in shock. Bingo, that's right, I can do anything. Chen Xi replied sarcastically. Wow, the master is so awesome, I admire you so much. No. 18 rolled her charming eyes, pretending to match her master's pretense. Super speed movement has no effect on people who also activate this ability, so number 18 is the same as usual. But everything within a kilometer radius of Chen Xi was suspended. Is this a kind of time ability? The Flash can restart the universe, which is the result of extremely fast speed. I have acquired a very buggy ability again. No matter whether I am escaping or making a sneak attack, who can stop me? Teleportation and super speed movement, but he still lacks a sharp knife as a weapon. He also wants to stab someone with a knife. As an elegant man, he disdains speaking with his fists. Wolverine is good and Wakanda is also good. We will go to them for friendly negotiations in a while. Chen Xi murmured secretly, and it was difficult to detect. In a moment, he had already chosen the next victim. Seeing the evil smile on Chen Xi's lips again, he knew someone was going to be unlucky again. Oh, I don't know which unlucky guy it is. Let me observe 3 minutes of silence for you. Amen. The two of them cleaned up the messy battlefield and prepared to go back. Only the downed patches of messy grass on the ground told of the intensity of the battle just now. It could be said that they were fighting each other to the death. System, open the properties panel. Chen Xi did not teleport home with no 18 but walked slowly back along the road. Ding, the properties panel has been opened, the host can check it by himself. Host, Chen Xi age, 22 level, peak of Earth physique, frost giant physique ability, water control level A 10 kilometers range. Ice type S level -150 degrees Celsius, Fire control level C, 500 degrees, carbon temperature transformation. Second, to original Edmund and vibranium teleportation level A, earth range, super speed movement, a level 1000 kilometers per second. Self-healing non-fatal injury, healed within 1 minute. Items: time stone, space stone, reality stone, power stone, mind stone, soul stone. N pieces and umbrella hive factory. Subordinate, android number 18 points, 69 million points. Bioenergy 3850 points. No problem, great verbose abilities, rich points. Capital is getting stronger and stronger. After closing the panel beautifully, Chen Xi looked at number 18 again. This woman with unlimited energy is Niyubai, and she is already like a normal person. Number 18, what's your name? No. 18 first glanced at Chen Xi with disdain before continuing to say softly, my name is Lolly. Lolly, it's a pretty name. It's simple and easy to remember, just the system gets the name. Along the way, I learned a lot about the memories of No. 18, living alone in New York without any relatives or friends. Currently, he has just graduated from college and has no job yet. There is no flaw in the identity arranged by the system. In every detail, he is completely native to this world. There is no fear that someone with telepathy could detect any information about the existence of the system. Ding dong, ding dong. When Chen Xi returned home, she forgot to bring her keys and wanted to take number 18 home in a formal and fair manner. Teleporting in. Doesn't it seem like he's guilty of committing a crime? Can I, the head of the family, still mess around? What's the rush? Wait. Wanda's angry voice came from far away, and it was so full of gunpowder that it almost exploded on the spot. Squeak, the door opens. He asked weakly, my dear, what is going on with you? What kind of good day is today? Do you want to celebrate? Celebrate? Of course you have to celebrate well. Hello, my name is Wanda Maximov, nice to meet you. After finishing speaking, he glanced condescendingly at number 18 and thought to himself, the little fox looks so charming and pitiful. Hello, it turns out to be Mrs. Wanda. I am the master's maid. My name is Lolly, nice to meet you. No. 18 greeted her very politely and greeted her with a smile. This friendly attitude caught Wanda a little off guard. Are you not here to cause trouble, or is this woman a master? Wanda was stunned, not knowing what to do. Wanda, who is new to the world, is just a showman. She looks menacing and intimidating, but in fact she is easy to fool. She turned to look at Chen Xi blankly. Husband, is he the nanny you mentioned? Chen Xi didn't expect Wanda to be so cute and easy to deceive. Number 18 could easily give in and admit defeat, so she believed him. In that case, if he borrows the donkey from the slope, you won't be polite. Yes, she is nanny no. One who specializes in taking care of us. Chen Xi was talking nonsense, she would find out soon. When Wanda heard Chen Xi's answer, she felt that she had misunderstood, so she quickly invited number 18 in. Oh, you are not a madam. We are both about the same age, you can just call me Wanda and I will call you Lolly. We will all be a family from now on. There are only a few people in our family and there is nothing to be busy with. Wanda, who also came from a poor background, does not have the mentality of a nouveau rich. She is bossy and bossy. As before, she is tolerant and normal-minded. Yeah, thank you, Wanda. No. 18 thanked her sweetly and at the same time secretly winked at Chen Xi playfully. Look, you stupid master, you still have to look at me. Among women, especially those of the same age, the topics are all kinds of topics, including cosmetics, bags, clothes, and jewelry. You can always find so many topics to talk about that you can never finish them. Besides, time flies by and we must not cherish our cable time. She must let him know how powerful she is. Look, you don't have the strength to go out and look for this and that every day. Don't worry, it's no problem. Chen Xi was overjoyed when he heard this and repeatedly promised, what's this? Wanda finished cleaning up Chen Xi. Put your hands on your hips, you look like a great lady. Yes, yes, my lady Wanda, I was wrong. Wanda narrowed her eyes and nodded with satisfaction. Well, that's good, you know what's going on. Such a cute and charming Wanda made Chen Xi couldn't help but rub her hair vigorously and comb it out. At noon, no one wanted to cook, so they simply ordered a lot of food and made do with it. After lunch, Chen Xi checked and found that the money Tony owed him had arrived. It must be said that Tony's work efficiency was quite high. Lolly, let's go out with me. Chen Xi shouted, and she was the only one holding up the scene. This lolly was dressed in professional attire, and she really looked like that. She acted as her secretary, and her personality immediately came into play. "Where are you going, master? The New York City government needs to do something." "Oh, okay. In this free country, as long as you have money, what can you do?" In the city hall, Chen Xi brought Lolly here. However, Chen Xi didn't say much. He just said that he had brought billions of dollars to buy a piece of land and build a playground for fun. In the end, it would be best to have ready-to-go bankrupt pharmaceutical companies with the convenience of these ready-made equipments. Of course, if he said it casually, others would definitely treat him as a joke, but based on Chen Xi's luxurious clothes, mysterious temperament, and the balance in his bank card, he knew that the person in front of him was an uncle. Even the governor of New York State immediately trotted out, reaching out his hand and receiving him warmly from afar. "Haha, Mr. Chen is really young and promising. Mr. Governor, you're welcome. I have something to ask for today." The two of them exchanged business talk for a while and then got down to business after a while of pleasantries. The governor smiled and asked, "I wonder how much land Mr. Chen needs. We will try our best to satisfy him." The financial crisis has just ended, and countless companies have gone bankrupt around the world, especially in the United States. So now there are so many laid-off workers, but they are worried to death and they are always shopping for you. Who can bear this? "I need a bankrupt pharmaceutical company or something like that. I am going to invest in a pharmaceutical company. The initial investment will be $5 billion and the subsequent investment will increase to $20 billion. Chen Xi said it calmly, just like investing a few hundred yuan, but it really scared the governor. Are you telling the truth?" The governor became excited, stood up suddenly, and asked nervously. "Of course it's necessary," Chen Xi replied calmly. "Ha ha ha ha. Sir, you have really solved a large labor gap for us. Thank you, thank you." The governor excitedly bowed to Chen Xi. "You're welcome, it's a matter of mutual benefit. Then please, Mr. Governor, help me contact several bankrupt companies. We will take all their land and equipment." "No problem, I'll get back to you soon." The governor repeatedly assured him that this was a great achievement. "Okay, I won't bother the governor. This is my business card. If you contact the seller, you can call me. I will ask the lawyer to sign the contract." "Okay, Mr. Chen, don't worry. I can help you get it done tomorrow morning. How many bankrupt companies are waiting to be taken over now? The price is absolutely cheap." "Okay, bye, goodbye." The governor hugged Chen Xi goodbye, but Chen Xi quietly pulled out a piece of his hair. Chen Xi drove number 18 to an intermediary company. This company is a professional salvage company. The information obtained from the online search is that they are very professional and have the highest ratings. However, their expertise also gives them the confidence to charge high fees, so asking them to do the same thing is much more expensive than the second-ranked one. "Hi, sir, madam, welcome. How can I help you?" As soon as I entered the door, a beautiful young lady greeted me enthusiastically. "God is here, how can I not be enthusiastic? That's it, go to the Arctic Ocean to catch a person." Chen Xi got straight to the point and kept talking in a nonchalant manner, leaving the young lady at a loss as to how to answer the question. "What, to fish for a dead man?" After being stunned for a long time, she asked weakly. "Yes, I will meet your boss and talk to him." Chen Xi went on to say that this young lady is obviously not qualified. "Okay, as you wish, please come with me." The little girl shrugged and took Chen Xi to find the boss. "Boom, please come in." A baritone voice came from inside and the young lady pushed the door open and entered. "Boss, this guest has big business to discuss with you personally." After speaking, he pointed at Chen Xi and number 18, then poured them 2 cups of coffee before leaving. "I wonder what I would call you, sir or miss. You can call me Bao Dylan." Chen Xi, Laurie. After introducing ourselves to each other, we got to the point. "Sir, miss, may I help you with anything, but I don't think you two are short of money." Bowen said with a smile. This was not a compliment but just telling the truth. Observing words and emotions is a basic skill. Chen Xi chuckled. "Yes, we are indeed not short of money, but this matter is a bit difficult. It won't take more than 2 months to complete." Now Bowen became interested. Oh, we especially like things that are challenging. If you have any requests, sir, please feel free to ask. Chen Xi also quickly put forward his request. That's it, I want you to find me a person who is frozen in the Arctic Ocean. I can confirm that he is not dead. Of course, the only task is to find him as soon as possible. The only information I can provide is that he crashed near an iceberg. There is no other information. After hearing this, Bao fell into deep thought and Chen Xi quietly drank coffee and waited. In Bao opinion, the world is a bit crazy. Going to the Arctic Ocean to find a person frozen in ice? This is no different from finding a needle in a haystack. This task shouldn't be too difficult. Getting close to the iceberg, there are so many icebergs in the Arctic Ocean, so many fragments. They have to go and detect them one by one, which is a lot of work. When Chen Xi was about to finish a cup of coffee, Bob made a decision. Sir, this job is quite challenging, we will take it, but the remuneration is quite high. We will dispatch hundreds of people and we are not sure how long the work will last. It will take at least more than a month. Bowen paused and looked at Chen Xi quietly, trying to see his expression. Chen Xi naturally noticed. He took a sip of coffee and said slowly, "Money is not an issue, you just set a price." When Bowen heard this, he gritted his teeth and said, "Sir, I want at least $30 million in remuneration." When Bowen said this, he didn't know what to do. This was 2009 and this was a sky-high deal. But after considering the investment and risks, he felt that there was not much money to be made and others might not necessarily spend so much. Unexpectedly, Chen Xi didn't hesitate at all and nodded directly. $30 million is $30 million, but you have to help me find this person. Of course, I can't give you that person's photo now, I'll send it to you when you get nearby. I can also advance a deposit of $10 million to you. If you can, then sign the contract now. Chen Xi's boldness was beyond anything Bao could have imagined. He was already prepared for the deal to fail or to bargain. There are so many rich people these days, are they so tough? Okay, sir, he is really the most generous guest I have ever seen. Please rest assured that since you said there is, then there must be this person. Bao smacked his flattery fiercely, trying to flatter him 1,000 times. How can such a rich man play tricks on him when he is full? That is impossible. If people say there is, then there must be. Chen Xi didn't wait long here before a lawyer came over with 2 contracts. Chen Xi signed the contract in a hurry. It's a pleasure to work with you, Mr. Chen. It's a pleasure to work with you, Boss Bao. After signing the contract, both of them shook hands with satisfaction. Bowen also wanted to stay with Chen Xi for a meal, but Chen Xi declined. He has made an appointment to take number 18 by his side and wander at home to go shopping tonight. Why don't we celebrate their harmony? We haven't even given them gifts yet, it's so inappropriate. At this moment, S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters was not calm. In the office of Marvel's big black man, the black-faced and black-hearted fuckman and the famous black-braised egg Nick Fury. At this moment, the video of the battle between 2 mechas was played over and over on the huge projection. S.H.I.E.L.D. is really pervasive. People are observing from a distance and they directly mobilize satellites. In the video, 2 super mechas full of sci-fi and futuristic elements are constantly fighting each other, and they even have powerful firepower devices. They easily destroyed high-rise buildings at will. Those buildings were like paper, especially the big black shell, which was too barbaric. When he landed on the elevated road, the various speeding cars in front of him were as fragile as toy cars that could be crushed under his feet. If such future technology is too scary and makes them worried, then the men in the future are the ones who really make them fearful and desperate, right? The big black shell that cracked metal and cracked stone was extremely terrifying, but the man just waved his hand casually as if to shoo away flies, and he turned the vicious mecha into ashes. This is really despairing and scary. This level of terror is unbelievable and they don't know what to say. Ignore the law of conservation of energy, create super low temperatures. They knew that a guy named Bob, nicknamed Iceman, could ignore the law of conservation of energy, but his ability was incomparable to the man in the video. Silence, deathly silence. There was only the faint sound of breathing in the whole office. They didn't know what to say. This person was not something they could deal with. Silence, still silence. I don't know how much time passed, but just when the atmosphere was about to freeze, Nick Fury couldn't help it anymore. He is going to use the topic to his advantage. Everyone here, you have all seen it. Military technology Stark Industries has been able to create such powerful mechas, but what about our scientific researchers? I don't know what you are doing. Are you just eating and waiting to die? You are getting huge research funds, but I don't even care what you do. Nick Fury is still a bit of a thief. Not long after he took over SHIELD, many of his people were arranged by others. He had to establish his authority over this group of people, otherwise it would be bad if he was doing things in a shady manner. Nick Fury is the god of S.H.I.E.L.D. Nick Fury's harsh criticism made technical staff members such as Gemma Simmons and Leopold lower their heads in embarrassment. But I felt aggrieved in my heart. How could they compare to the once-in-a-century genius Tony Stark? Who is he? The best genius of the Stark family. Of course, I can only pretend to be an ostrich at this moment. Who wants black braised egg to be angry? I can't afford to offend him, I can afford to hide. Nick Fury gives up when he gets good, letting them know that he is not a good old man without a temper. Next, he started acting again. But to be honest, you have tried your best. After all, Tony Stark's genius is obvious to all. Now your job is to study this kind of armor, starting with the exoskeleton armor. As long as you can produce results, I will certainly not hesitate to reward you. Promotions and salary increases are guaranteed. You will get as much from me as you pay. Of course, I will join forces with the military to put pressure on Tony and ask him to hand over our armor so that you can study it carefully and try to make it for us. I have to say that Nick Fury's heart is extremely dark. He even had no scruples in speaking out in public about his idea to rob Tony. And he said it as if he were taking his own things, with no concern at all whether Tony would sneeze at him or whether he would treat Nick Fury like an onion. Hit a stick and give me a red date. As a superior, the black-hearted braised egg Nick Fury is also very good at playing. This is just the first step, there is more to come. And the agents in our bureau, it's been half a month since Chen Xi showed up, right? I'm just asking, what did you get? Why didn't I receive any useful information? Apart from sleeping, what takeout I ordered, where I went, and what I did, there was nothing specific at all that was useful. I'm giving you half a month to keep an eye on him, who he met with, what he talked about, and what specific actions he took. If you still can't get useful information, all of your agents above level 5 will have their vacations cancelled this year and their bonuses will be cancelled. If that doesn't work, you can quit the Strategic Homeland Defense Attack and Logistics Support Agency. At this point, Nick Fury was already very stern, and the fierce one-eyed dragon looked deeply at everyone. Everyone who was swept by him lowered their heads, and no one dared to look at him as if they were impressed by his power. Nick Fury was also very satisfied with everyone's reaction and couldn't help but feel a flash of pride. Look, we are also very B********D like. Little did they know, 80% of the people here were members of Hydra. They simply turned a deaf ear to his words and did not dare to look at him. They were indeed harboring evil intentions. He withdrew his gaze with satisfaction and regained his composure. You all get out. Coulson, Natasha, Barton, please stay for a while. Swish, swish, swish. Except for Nick Fury, who was left alone, everyone else left. They wished they could leave as soon as possible. It was so depressing here. What is left in the office now is his core, that is, Hai Lu Dan can have 30% of his trusted confidants. According to Nick Fury's character, being so tall is already as high as the sky. Level 9 Agent Maria Hill, Airship Commander, has always been SHIELD's invisible second-in-command. I am a mature, cool, and beautiful girl with a good figure. Level 8 Agent Phil Coulson, the village chief of the novice village in the Marvel Cinematic Universe novels, has the image of a good old guy, but good guys are a bit short-lived. The 7th level Agent Hawkeye is Clint Barton, a coy with a talent for shooting, and all wars are won with him. The 7th level Agent Black Widow Natasha naturally needs no introduction, everyone knows it, and she is so charming that people are eager to drink her bathwater. Of course, at present, only a small group of them have any trust from the black-hearted braised egg Nick Fury. Forget about the others, they are not trustworthy at all. Who knows who they are taking orders from? After the so-called idlers left, Nick Fury leaned over the desk with both hands and looked around them, taking a closer look. I don't know if I can completely believe you, but I have to believe you. I hope you won't betray my trust. After all, we have known each other for so long and are close friends. When everyone heard this, their expressions were complicated. This was really an unpleasant feeling. The more you know, the more dangerous it is. It was not difficult to see that Nick Fury was hiding something from them, and they knew very well how scheming the N*****R in front of them was. Not only are the people black, but their hearts are even darker. Although they feel a little uncomfortable, no one shows any dissatisfaction. They are all masters. Nick Fury knew it well, but he didn't have that much time to speculate on their thoughts. Anyway, everyone knew what they were thinking. He looked at Natasha and said in a deep voice, "Tell us about it, tell us the information you got. You have personally been in contact with him, you should have more experience than us." "Okay, director." Natasha also stood up when she heard the sound and then looked at everyone. "According to the information I got, our supercomputer compared all the databases based on his name and photos and couldn't get any information about him. He appeared completely out of thin air. We know nothing about him, but he knows us exceptionally well. We don't have any secrets in his eyes." What? They were shocked. The former news is understandable, but the latter is unbelievable. I don't know if they are friends or foes, but others know them well. There is a mole. This transaction must be stopped. Coulson and others actually just knew this. At this time they were whispering and discussing in low voices, and then he raised questions. Chen Xi, who is suspected of being a mutant, is from the Dragon Kingdom. Everyone knows this. Will he give us the information about the Dragon Kingdom? Our supercomputer can't find the opponent's core characters. They won't open their permissions to us, right? Coulson talked eloquently and his analysis was well-founded. Others looked at Nick Fury in confusion after hearing this. Are you mistaken? Who do you know? At this time, Nick Fury shook his head. There is no doubt that I have already said hello to the Divine Spear Bureau and told them about this matter. The other party was also very surprised. They have never heard of this person, and after checking, they can't find any trace at all. I believe them. No one made any comment after listening. You are right, you are so shameless. Nick Fury rubbed his temples and frowned. He had been quiet for how long? In fact, Natasha and Nick Fury did not tell them all the information. The M78 nebula that Chen Xi mentioned, the alien invasion, such shocking secrets are only known to those involved. Everything can only happen slowly. Nick Fury, who was in low spirits, waved his hand tiredly and said, "You all go out. Natasha, please stay here. I still have a task to give you." Coulson and others left quickly after receiving the order. They did not want to worry about these illusory existences. Even if the sky falls, tall people will bear it. The more you know, the more dangerous it will be. After everyone left, Nick Fury looked at Natasha again. "Natasha, you are the only one in our bureau who has met him before, and you are somewhat familiar with him. Anyway, you are so beautiful, so you are very suitable for dealing with him. From now on, you will be responsible for tracking and monitoring his every move, and you will decide how to do it yourself. Nick Fury is cunning and cunning. Who can resist beauty? Ah. Let me go. If I don't go, he will be on guard against me. I will definitely be discovered by him if I go. Also, he is an alien. How can his aesthetics be the same as ours? I won't go." When Natasha heard this, she shook her head like a rattle. It meant that she couldn't go. Not long after she debuted, he took advantage of her for the first time. If she went now, wouldn't she be completely wiped out by him? The key is that this guy only lights the fire, not puts it out. Nick Fury doesn't know Natasha's little thoughts. He persuaded himself, "Natasha, you also know that our manpower is limited now and everyone else is busy. You also know that I don't trust other people at all, so this task belongs to you. As for his aesthetic issues, you can rest assured, there are many beauties around him. Are you, Natasha, still afraid that your charm is not as good as others? If you take down Chen Xi, you will be the hero of our bureau." Nick Fury is a rainbow fart, and he says that Natasha is the most suitable person both emotionally and rationally. But Natasha hesitated, still hesitating. "Agent Natasha, this is an order. Please don't refuse. You are the most suitable person for us." Seeing that Natasha was still hesitating, Nick Fury's tone became slightly more serious, and it was already in order. Obviously, he doesn't want his subordinates to violate what he has decided. Natasha was helpless and could only nod aggrievedly. Okay, I'll take it, then I can only sacrifice myself. No need to sacrifice, I believe you have a solution. You are a top agent who has won the title of Black Widow. After giving her a stick and a sweet date, Nick Fury was satisfied and spoke out to comfort and praise Natasha's abilities. He wants to make the best use of everything according to the characteristics of each person, which can also be said to be the best use of everything. Okay, you go out, okay. Nick Fury waved his hand and asked her to leave, and after Natasha turned around, the embarrassed look on her face suddenly disappeared completely. She is called a face-changing master. Nick Fury didn't know that at this moment Natasha turned her back to him with a sarcastic smile and left. It seems that she has made a choice, and now Nick Fury's decision is just what she wants, not too smooth. The next morning, Bowen also called, saying that they were ready, bringing a total of 6 modified small freighters and 300 people. And they will always use satellite phones to keep in touch with Chen Xi and will notify him if anything happens. Okay, I look forward to your good news. I will send the approximate location to your mobile phone and you will search for it for more than 10 kilometers near that longitude and latitude. Chen Xi told Bao En's team the approximate location he saw in the movie, and there should be no problems. Okay sir, let's go then. Goodbye, goodbye, hope everything goes well. Chen Xi looked out the window and murmured. After putting away the phone, Chen Xi suddenly remembered something. It would be more suitable for him to buy a big SUV. It was troublesome to go shopping last night. The Lambo is cool, but it can only seat 2 people. How is this possible for a warm-hearted man like him? You can tell by just counting your fingers that there should be around 70 or 80 heroines in this world, right? Let the sunshine of love shine on all living beings. Wanda Lolly, shall we go shopping for a car? Don't go, Wanda has a lot of personality and is a homebody. Master, I will accompany you. She was very considerate on the 18th and said sweetly immediately, hey, it's better for me Lolly, let's go. Chen Xi pinched her little face with a smile, deliberately edging Wanda, this arrogant girl. Yes, yes, I will give it to her several times at night. I am too lazy to talk about you too. Wanda also counterattacked unceremoniously, it's just that she feels miserable. She really can't do it, she will completely collapse in an hour at most. Who knows how Lolly is so strong. You will know later, let's go. Chen Xi smiled proudly, took number 18 and left. Rambo roared and flew towards the city center. BMW Fourth Son store can be considered a luxury brand, and for Chen Xi the idea of German cars is deeply ingrained. Hi, isn't this Mr. Chen Xi? Do you have a car you like? I am a gold medal salesman. Do you want me to help you with your advice? As soon as I walked in, a charming voice seemed to reach deep into my soul. Looking up, Chen Xi saw a pair of big killers. Ouch, who is this? The widow who lets people drink the bath water. Stop, don't hug me, I'm a timid person. Don't hug me and twist like this, I'm afraid of making a mistake. Chen Xi was seen hurriedly trying to stop Black Widow's unusually intimate hug. It's just that familiar taste, familiar recipe, and skillful method of grinding soy milk. It just didn't seem to work, so Chen Xi naturally enjoyed the VIP treatment with peace of mind and looked at Natasha's pretty face with a smile. I said, what's going on with you? Is this a new mission from your bullshit bureau? You actually came here to do this job? Are you a part-time beauty? Natasha resisted this guy and rubbed Xiaododu's arm and then remembered the part-time beauty sentence. What does this be D want? What do you mean? Does he look down on people? At this time, Chen Xi spoke again. I'll contact you to change the name to Shield. How easy is it to remember? Natasha was stunned. What the hell is this guy? The topic changed a bit too quickly. However, this criticized long name is indeed too cheap and too tacky. Mr. Chen is right. We've had enough of the lousy name of the Strategic Homeland Defense Attack and Logistics Support Agency. I think Nick Fury will consider your suggestion. Natasha said in a sweet and serious voice. Don't you know the reason why I come here to work? I am a woman. Just say what you said. Why are you hugging me so hard? Chen Xi said it was too much. Such a good thing is just a sugar-coated bullet, and it is definitely not good. It scared Chen Xi. Is this goblin planning to cause trouble? He quickly struggled lightly, but unfortunately Natasha hugged her too tightly and couldn't break free. But it was Natasha's hum that reminded him, why is this girl's face so red? What are you going to take off? My hair is a meter long. I have long since stopped caring about worldly affairs and abandoned all desires. Wu Yang, that heavenly lord, has seen through the mortal world and is ready to take refuge in the 3 jewels. Please ask the female benefactor to let me go. When the situation was not good, Chen Xi quickly chanted sutras and chanted Buddha's name, always reminding himself to hold back, and forcefully quenching his thirst would not work. Natasha is too old, just take advantage. Chen Xi muttered a lot in Huxia. Even if Natasha was proficient in Huxia, she still wouldn't be able to understand this mess of tongue-twisting novel terms. He couldn't help but give Chen Xi a fierce look with his charming big eyes. He must be pretending to be a gentleman again. But Natasha was already ready to agree to Chen Xi's conditions. She would not be fooled by jokes like this. To become stronger, she had to do this. I can only feel sorry for S.H.I.E.L.D., and Nick Fury is not a good guy. He has not fulfilled his promise until now. The promised infinite formula has been delayed for 2 years. After thinking about it, she became even more unwilling to give up and hugged Chen Xi's arm tightly and acted like a baby. You have to pay for what you get. This B*******D is really cheap. It's just this little friction that makes me angry again. She got angry herself, and Chen Xi also shouted that it was too much. Don't rub it. It's dry, it's easy to get angry. Unable to break free, Chen Xi had no choice but to surrender. When faced with such a sugar-coated bomb, he had no choice but to eat it first as a courtesy. Forehead hair, Chen Xi quickly changed the topic. Let me ask you, are you selling cars here? Are you waiting for me here specifically? Chen Xi looked at this woman suspiciously. He was actually 100% sure that she was waiting for him specifically. Here it comes. This is what Natasha was waiting for. She immediately turned pitiful, blinked her big innocent eyes, and sighed deeply as if she could no longer live her life. We women spend a lot of money. I have to do beauty care and buy nice clothes and bags. You know Nick Fury, that black-hearted guy, he's a total loser. How about you accept me? Anyway, 1 more of me is not much. You already have 2 women. After speaking, he slowly raised his head and stared at Chen Xi with shining eyes. She is waiting for an answer. After Chen Xi heard this, he rolled his eyes. There was no truth in this girl's mouth. How could she be short of money? Chen Xi knew that this was surrender, and she decided. But in order to tease her, Chen Xi turned to look at the little maid number 18 on the other side. Dear little maid, Natasha is so pitiful. How about we take her in and make her your little maid? Number 18 rolled his eyes. Damn it. He wanted to find a reason. However, she still cooperated and said, this little sister is so pitiful. It's okay if the master takes her in and she can be a common room girl at night. Natasha didn't know what the intercourse girl was, but she knew that Chen Xi had taken her under his wing, so she also glanced at number 18 gratefully. Thank you, sister. They were playing riddles here, and others only heard a general idea. Anyway, they were a rich young man who married a beautiful woman. All the male customers in the Fourth Son's shop looked down and paused. They stared at Natasha motionless as soon as they entered the door. I have never seen such a beautiful woman before, but such a seductive stunner is an advantage for the younger guys. If I had known they would have taken action, wouldn't it be just maintenance? They have a lot of money. Regret. They should be glad they didn't take action, otherwise Natasha wouldn't mind a few more eunuchs in the world. Chen Xi looked at these guys who were eager to rob and smiled disdainfully. Why is the famous Black Widow my nanny? You weaklings can only be envious and jealous. I just like the way you can't stand me and can't kill me. Hey. After Natasha thanked number 18, she turned to look at Chen Xi. Oh my boss is so awesome. I love you so much. Give me a kiss. While she was talking, she was jumping and twisting while hugging Chen Xi. Isn't this a foul? She is a big star in the movie. She is living in front of her. Although Natasha is sexy, charming, and has a hot figure, her age makes people confused. Chen Xi is so confused that her balls hurt. To this day, he still remembers one thing wrong. Natasha in the movie was born in 1984 and now she is at her most beautiful, youthful and charming. I can only say that she deserves it. Habitual thinking is very harmful. Marvel's timeline is extremely confusing, but this is the real world. Just like in a movie, the director can choose any role he wants, but in the real world, who can control their appearances? This world has endless possibilities. Looking at Natasha's sexy head-turning figure, Chen Xi quickly suppressed her. Sister, calm down, calm down. By the way, director Black Braised Dan should be happy, right? Chen Xi quietly pointed to her ear again, indicating that she would cooperate with him. What is Chief Black Braised Egg? Who is he? She was stunned for a moment, then realized what she was doing and burst out laughing. Her smile was as beautiful as a flower, and it was so beautiful that the other idiots around her were dumbfounded. Ha ha ha, boss, you are such an elf. The silver bell-like laughter can't help but make people look at him frequently. Nick Fury, who was on the other end of the miniature earphones, was so angry that he flew into a rage. His face, which was originally dark, now looked like black coal. Of course, if you don't look closely, you won't be able to tell. It's just like that. F asterisk asterisk K F asterisk asterisk K. Don't he know that it's extremely unqualified to make fun of someone else's appearance? Chen Xi made Nick Fury so angry. He also knew clearly that this nickname would definitely spread from now on. When I thought about it, my face suddenly turned darker. Natasha, don't laugh. Your mission started very smoothly, so I won't say more to you. By the way, don't use this crap in the future. People will know that we use this to communicate. Also, this matter is not allowed to be spread to outsiders. Nick Fury said angrily. What's going on, director? Natasha asked knowingly. HMPH, you understand. Snap. Nick Fury snorted coldly and immediately turned off the signal. He is going to be so angry that he will probably be with him for the rest of his life. Just thinking about it makes me want to die. Your own happiness is indeed based on the pain of others. She really wanted to laugh, but it was uncomfortable to hold it in. Natasha's trembling big weapon danced so actively that Chen Xi was particularly impressed. The quality of this dress was amazing. To explode or not to explode? Oops, stop laughing, it's going to explode. Chen Xi helplessly pointed at Sister Natasha and reminded her not to be too cruel as she could easily explode. Natasha, who realized something was wrong, gave a reserved voice and then quickly hugged her sister tightly with both hands. Okay, let's talk about remuneration. How much money will you give me to work for you? You have to get a salary and you can't work for nothing. The salary given by S.H.I.E.L.D. is really low. Just look at Coulson and you will know that he lives a tight life and has not replaced his old car for so long, so he calls it love. You still want salary? Chen Xi exclaimed that it was incredible. There is such a thing as paying wages in the world. How come he doesn't know? What, you still want to be granted? Natasha was so angry that she pinched him hard, this bad guy. Well, it depends on how hard you work. Chen Xi decided not to tease her anymore. Isn't it just money? Money is not bad. Well, let's do this. I'll give you 300,000 a month. 300,000 US dollars? Natasha immediately covered her mouth and looked at Chen Xi in shock. Of course, what do you think? Zimbu, bah, oh my god, didn't you report an extra zero? Natasha looked at Chen Xi with her trembling body, disbelief in her eyes. 300,000, her monthly salary of life and death is just over 20,000. The black-hearted braised egg Nick Fury is the reincarnation of Grandit. Only Chen Xi knows that all the money this guy embezzled has been used to build bases and space carriers all over the world. Just when Chen Xi was shopping around Sizez's store with his arms around him and the people around him were envious and jealous, God was not in his favor. Boom, 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 there was a burst of thunder and fire outside and the ground shook and the mountains shook. The sound of explosions covered up the cries of crying fathers and mothers calling for help. Chen Xi was experiencing how good the shock absorption performance of this X6 was. This really came at the wrong time. Suddenly, a small rocket exploded in front of Fourth Son's store. With a bang, the glass of the entire Fourth Son's shop shattered all over the floor, making everyone run away in fear. Mom, help, God, run, it must be another bank robber. Quick, back door, run through the back door. Someone come and save me, my leg was scratched. For a time, the entire Fourth Son's store was in chaos, with customers everywhere shouting at each other and shouting at each other. At this moment, I don't care about any gentlemanly demeanor anymore. I just regret that my parents have lost 2 legs. As long as you run faster than others, you won't be the one who dies. Mad, this is a free country. Great, there really is no day in peace. Doesn't it feel good to go one day without shooting, Sky? The good mood was ruined. Chen Xi cursed and walked out of the car unhappy. Damn it, it is indeed the masterpiece that saved Marvel. It directly activated the world. The curtain of the Marvel Cinematic Universe was opened by Tony Stark and all the characters appeared. This is the world of great strife in the novel. People and ghosts all come to show off their existence. However, Chen Xi is naturally a talented person and bold, and the hail of bullets is like playing house in his eyes. At this moment, Natasha's face was gloomy, her appearance completely changed from a charming fox to a Charlie's Angels, at critical moments become calm and decisive. Natasha immediately took out her gun and fired a warning shot into the air. Everyone calm down now. I am an FLB CIA agent. The situation is urgent now. There are bullets and bullets outside. The more panic you get, the more dangerous you are. Everyone should leave from the fire escape in an orderly manner. Upon hearing the presence of official agents, the panicked crowd was immediately brought under control, followed the arrangements, and chose to leave in an orderly manner. It has to be said that having a background is easy. Natasha is calm, commanding well and unhurried, which makes Chen Xi take a high look. Why did such a sassy widow receive a box lunch? She died when everyone was resurrected. It was so unfair, and how many people were upset. No one in the Marvel world understands her mind. She seems unscrupulous and extremely complicated at the same time. No one understands what she does. And no one could have imagined that Natasha, who was so murderous, would finally lift Thor's hammer, which represented justice, and that was enough. Boom, boom, chirp, boom. Another powerful rocket exploded outside the door. This time it seemed to be more powerful. The explosion destroyed the surrounding buildings, cars, flowers, plants, and trees. This time, the powerful Lambo driver who had not even driven a few times when Chen Xi also died in the smoke. Chen Xi's face suddenly darkened. He was so deceitful. I didn't even think about doing anything to you, but you actually bullied me. I'm looking for death. Chen Xi is angry, which means someone will die. Lolly, let's go out and see what kind of blind guy is so arrogant here. Give him a ride. Okay, dear master, it's me this time. I haven't done anything yet. Seemingly sensing Chen Xi's anger, number 18 was also angry. At this moment, helicopters, tanks, and armored vehicles are all falling outside Fourth Son's store. Is this a rebellion? Who can have such a large formation, and no robber can mobilize such a large number of troops, right? Chen Xi looked around and finally discovered it. The target of the army is not an international thief or a super-criminal robber at all, but a big green guy with a particularly eye-catching logo of a magic weapon. Big pants. What's going on? Why is he still the green fat man? Isn't he hiding in Tony's house to help develop the armor? Damn it! Chen Xi was confused for a while, but at this time he naturally wanted to stand on the sidelines and watch the excitement. Don't watch free movies. He was not in a hurry to settle the score. The fight was in full swing, and various buildings and cars were as brittle as paper in the hands of the green fat man. He-Heian, the art of explosion. At this time, while others were hiding far away for fear of being affected, a man excitedly rushed to the edge of the battlefield with an extremely beautiful woman who looked like she had stepped out of a comic book. Just listen to him shouting excitedly, "Well done. Banner, come on, kill this disgusting guy abomination. Damn it, you hate it, don't you have an IQ? Go up and choke the fat green guy. There is a ready-made boxing glove like a car nearby. Grab him and hit him on the head." Chen Xi was watching the excitement and cheering without taking it too seriously. Everyone who saw it was speechless. This madman has a girlfriend? Damn it, let him pretend. Humph, let's see how you die. Let you pretend. Die, you die to labor. Chen Xi's voice spread so far that Hulk, who was on the battlefield 100 meters away, didn't recognize Chen Xi. At that time, Chen Xi transformed into Colossus and only a ghost could recognize him. Although Hulk was a little kid with an IQ of only 7 or 8 years old, he understood after hearing Chen Xi's cry, This is an extremely flexible fat paper. He can grab a truck with just a swish regardless of whether it will explode or not, such a sting. The truck was as fragile as paper in Hulk's hands and was torn in half. Hulk holds the front of the car with his left hand and the cabin with his right hand. These boxing gloves are quite good, it's so powerful. Chen Xi had to admire this scene. The Marvel world is the Marvel world, nothing needs a reasonable explanation, people just don't explode. The battlefield is changing rapidly. The armed Hulk is so confident that he raises his hand and punches Abomination in the face. A set of tortoise punches hit Abomination with no backhand power and even caused Abomination to vomit disgusting yellow blood. Hulk's behavior really echoes the old saying. This means that there is no way to win, but there is a way to win. As Lao Xing said, there is no way to do this. How to break it? The Hulk's tortoise punches with sparks and lightning were all the way to greet hatred. In the end, sparks hit the earth and ignited the gasoline all over the ground. Boom, boom, boom. Damaged and intact cars on the roadside exploded one after another. The special effects were explosive. Fire shot into the sky. The special edition of the American blockbuster on site made Chen Xi extremely addicted. Explode, explode, boom, boom. Hundreds of cars filled the streets and alleys, creating the ultimate explosive blockbuster effect. The hatred that was knocked unconscious by Hulk's bastards seemed to be awakened. Is this dissatisfied weapon? Although the power of Abomination and Hulk is very different, Abomination is an adult in monster skin, and Hulk is an alternative child with impressive IQ. Abomination was born when Soldier Bronski was unwilling to retire and took the risk of using General Ross's super soldier serum and irradiating him with gamma rays. The birth of Abomination can be regarded as a miracle. He is a castrated version of the Hulk who retains his sanity. It can be said to be a semi-successful product. Except for that layer of skin, he is just like a normal person. Even though his ability is not at the same level as that of the Green Fat Man, he is not far behind now. The Green Fat Man in the movie has been weakened too much. The expensive special effects have caused all the top heroes to be unable to keep up, while ordinary heroes have greatly shortened the gap between them. No, in a vague way, the hatred-wearing boxing gloves and the fat green man were able to gain a slight upper hand when they were fighting each other. I'll go, it's not fair. Ross's bullets and cannonballs are disgusting to him. This green fat guy is obviously in a hurry and has too much work to do. Chen Xi had to say that Ross and the others were the real masters and they would take down the green fat man by any means necessary. This is a fight with the fat green man. Ding ding ding, ding ding ding. The bullets rained down on the green fat man's body like a steel plate. Although it was not painful or itchy, wasn't this an extreme challenge to his patience? Is this a rhythm that will annoy him to death? Or is this a rhythm that intends to annoy him to death? The constant harassment made the green fat man's eyes unbearable. The anger in his eyes was full and he wanted to burst out with stronger power. The angrier you are, the stronger you become. Roar. The fat green man roared angrily and unleashed an astonishing amount of power. He was going to kill the annoying flies in front of him at all costs. His patience is really limited and his IQ is also very limited. Suddenly, with a flash of his eyes, he started running fast, carrying the hail of bullets and rushed in front of the tank to wreak havoc. He jumped up high and smashed down hard. Every time he jumped, he crushed a tank into a piece of paper. He casually twisted the barrel of the cannon and threw it into the sky, which meant a plane crashed. Hulk hit the plane with every hit. After a while, more than a dozen pancake-shaped tanks on the ground were permanently scrapped with traces of blood. The cars, motorcycles, street lights, telephone poles, etc. on the roadside all became his cannonballs, hitting the helicopter in the sky. Bew, bew, bew. Chirp. A few more unlucky helicopters were shot down by the green fat man's invincible ion skills. Chen Xi felt that he was a professional and he should not be able to do anything but only do that. The surviving helicopter was so frightened that it quickly raised its position away from the Hulk's attack range and called for support. The green fat man was excited and his IQ was finally positive. Taking advantage of this gap, Abomination quickly made a sneak attack and threw the green fat man far away. Then he accelerated and jumped up high to crush the top of the mountain. Boom. At this moment, the green fat man was directly driven into the ground more than 1 meter deep, and dust suddenly flew up. He was ready to elbow the green fat man on the head with unreasonable hatred. This was a tight fight, and the green fat man was probably going to become bloated. Sooner or later, when hatred stood up and struck with an elbow, the green fat man directly need hatred and hit the butt of hatred hard. Ah! The hatred immediately let out a cruel roar. It hurt. The pain penetrated into the bone marrow. This kind of pain has reached an unbearable level. If there is anything that is 10 times more painful than Ling Kai, it is his current pain in the balls. Hatred has heard a cracking sound. The egg is broken. The green fat man's 800 tons of power, even if he folded it in half in a hurry, it would be a knee strike. Even a titanium alloy egg cannot withstand such a collision. How else can we say that true knowledge comes from actual combat? Liu Pang learns and applies it flexibly, and he gains wisdom every time he learns. In desperation, he suddenly remembered the trick Chen Xi used on him. Roar. The green fat man is really happy, like an 800-pound fat man. The situation on the court caught Rose off guard. The green fat man was really a tough nut to crack. General, what should we do? Now Abomination is no match for the Hulk. Should we use missile attacks? Seeing that the Hulk could no longer resist, they began to request the use of heavy weapons to blow him unconscious. As for the civilians, the damage caused, sorry, this is what you deserve. They dare to launch atomic bombs on New York. What else can they not dare to do? If you die unfortunately, I can only blame you for remembering it. Anyway, you are here to watch a show and watch someone die. If you are killed in a bombing, you can't blame the military. There are quite a few people watching the show now. Of course, they are thousands of meters away from the battlefield, but Chen Xi is not included on the 18th. The two of them were just about to stand in front of the enemy, and they were definitely in the best position as they were closer to the thief. Okay, listen to you. General Ross is a vicious and ruthless guy. Over the years, many people who wanted to capture Hulk were directly killed. They paid for it. This was all routine operations. Now he had a bad start again, which made his face extremely gloomy, and he spoke in anger without hesitation. Dong dong dong, dong dong dong. The helicopter glanced at the green fat man, which once again ignited the green fat man's anger. Come again. It's not over yet, he roared at the helicopter and chased after it. This is Ross's purpose, to lead him to the suburbs and directly bombard this big guy with missiles. Under their design, they arrived in the suburbs of Manhattan, New York in just a few minutes. They are ready. Ex-wife missiles ready. Ready, General, a mission. When General Ross gave the order, an ex-wife missile carried by a certain helicopter was launched directly. It drags its long white tail and roars in. Fake, fake, this is a missile. Madman, is the military crazy? This is New York. We're going to sue him, FARC. Oh my God, help, are there no people in the suburbs? No, there are also small wild areas in the suburbs, but the losses can be reduced to a very low level. Of course, there were also onlookers here, and they were so scared that they cried. This is so crazy, some of them cursed. But the vast majority of people have fallen into despair and fear. Even if you don't die, you will still be shocked to the point of bleeding to death. This is not a simple explosion, but a too strong shock wave. It was too late to regret. There was nothing but fear and despair in his eyes. There were many people who were so scared that they peed their pants. Even Chen Xi was shocked. F***K, F***K, this Ross is really crazy. He is more of a terrorist than a terrorist, right? As a melon eater, Chen Xi naturally followed him. Seeing Ross being so unscrupulous, his face became gloomy. This guy is a bit cruel. Does he have thoughts about himself? That's easy to handle. When he shows up later, he will definitely attack me tonight, so I will find a reason to kill him. You can't keep a guy who is eyeing you like this. For a clown, you have to kill him with thunderous means. General Ross himself killed the chicken to scare the monkey and frightened the little chicken in the dark. Chen Xi made up his mind and showed a mysterious smile. This feeling of being in control was a bit good, and he was even more looking forward to it. Rose seems to have only seen himself in a steel state, so let number 18 take action. He should also covet number 18's genes, haha. On the 18th, she saw Chen Xi showing a mysterious smile. Although she could not guess what bad intentions this unscrupulous master had, she knew that he must have plotted against others. I rolled my eyes. The master is so bad, but I love him so much. Before Chen Xi asked her to take action, she volunteered and said, "Dear badass master, do you want me to give them a ride?" "What do you mean by my dear badass master? You just need to clean up." Snap. Chen Xi patted her skin gently and scolded her with a smile. "Go and finish it off. If you dare to speak ill of the master, I'll get you beaten." "Oh, bad master, you are wrong." After saying that, he pinched Chen Xi hard. Chen Xi glanced sideways at this naughty little woman and begged for mercy, but why was her body so dishonest? He was so angry that he slapped it hard again, and the waves suddenly rolled. The elasticity was really absolute, and I couldn't put it down. Chen Xi squeezed reluctantly and said with lingering meaning, "Be honest, did you hear me? You saw that big green guy, just knock him out. And when you see that disgusting big guy, just slap him to death." Chen Xi made gestures for no. 18 with his hands while arranging what she had to do. Not to mention, this abomination's self-healing ability is not bad. After the egg was broken, it actually recovered within a few minutes and rushed to the battlefield. Number 18 was well aware of Chen Xi's shameless behavior. He was very impatient on his face but very happy in his heart. Even the bad guy like his master can't stop his charm. He is so charming to this bad guy. She pretended to be arrogant and said impatiently, "Stop touching blindly, you never have enough to eat, you are so annoying. Isn't it the big green guy and the big shit yellow guy? I know, leave it to me. It just so happens that I haven't met an opponent for so long. Let me stretch my muscles today." After speaking, number 18 twisted her fingers, crooked her neck, and spoke coquettishly, full of eagerness to try. It must be said that this is also a woman with violent genes. "Wait a minute, let's get some fresh blood from the Hulk when we fight. It will save us the trouble of having to transform him in the future." Just when no. 18 was about to attack, Chen Xi suddenly stopped her. "I know, you scoundrel bad master," number 18 shouted coolly without looking back, and she rushed in slowly as she geared up. "Why do you need the Hulk's blood? Isn't this the hive base that just got umbrella? Why don't we make good use of it? Maybe we can get a super T-virus serum. The T-virus serum that can greatly improve physical fitness may become more powerful and awaken superpowers." He really believes in the incredible ability of these native Marvel people. There is nothing they can't do. Wouldn't the addict Sentinel become invincible with just a bottle of potion? As long as Chen Xi has the Hulk's blood, he will hand it over to the arranged Red Queen for study in 2 days. If he goes to kidnap again, he will hire a few Dr. Lizard, Dr. Octopus, or something like that with high salary. With these technological giants in the animal world and Umbrella's biotechnology, although he does not expect to clone an accidental product like the Hulk, it is still possible to get some castrated version of the super T-virus serum, right? Hatred of shit yellow. Hey, just thinking about it makes me so nervous. Chen Xi really doesn't like it. This guy is a bit disgusting. He's yellow and full of vicious barbs. Actually, it's really not your fault that you're ugly, but if you come out to scare me, then it's your fault. Chen Xi is still dreaming here, but number 18 over there has risen into the sky, and the air dance technique is quite useful. There are countless surveillance cameras in the outside world, and there are military and civilian satellites all over the sky. Such a majestic operation has long attracted the attention of the United States. On the 18th, under the astonished gazes of people across the United States, I directly fell in love with my ex-wife. "Wake it up for me," the petite body of No. 18 hugged his ex-wife Missile tightly. He let out a sweet cry and the veins on his face jumped. Then he shook her hard and changed the direction. The 18th shocked the United States at this moment and made them completely excited. God, is this a goddess? Mutants. Super mutants? Don't all mutants only have one mutant ability? What is going on? Oh my gosh, this woman reminds me of a guy, a total crazy mutant. You mean Magneto? No, she is far worse than Magneto. No, she's a superhero, she's saving civilians. Wow, so cool, what a handsome heroine. Whether it was live or on TV, the melaneating crowd in front of the computer burst into strong cheers. They were celebrating the 18th and the roof almost fell over. More people jumped on the sofa, table, and chairs and yelled loudly. This is free America, a crazy country that extremely worships individual heroism. Beauty, hero, mutant, war, save the world, any element can make people's hearts beat faster and make them excited, not to mention the combination of these exciting elements. Just then, what look, Virgin Mary. Oh my god, this totally crazy woman, she's a super heroine. Ha ha ha, well done, I like this bad temper. Yes, that's right, kill these criminals who don't care about the lives of civilians. Oh god, how dare she, this is contempt for the military. Yes, that's right, number 18 held his ex-wife's missile and flew straight towards a helicopter at high speed. A few seconds later, in the shocked, surprised, and horrified eyes of all the Melaneaters, number 18 hit a helicopter with his ex-wife's missile. Boom. The fire is soaring into the sky, the unlucky helicopter exploded into pieces. Where are the people, where are the people, where did she go, perish together? Impossible, no one would be so stupid. Look, isn't that her? Everyone's eyes were looking everywhere, they didn't believe that this heroine would be stupid enough to die together. Sure enough, they soon saw the heroine appeared on the ground, standing proudly. Is this the top mutant? General Ross was so shocked that he didn't know how to describe the power of number 18 in words. Ha ha ha, get her, last time the Steel Man didn't know what he looked like, but this time she can't run away. Then he laughed crazily, his face was ferocious and the fire in his eyes was unreserved. General, what should we do? The adjutant was so frightened that he stammered with a strong look of fear in his eyes. Is this person someone they can deal with? Run away quickly and think about it long term. They were obviously frightened to death by number 18's madness. Why does a small body contain so much power? But before they could react to this crazy scene, a sonic boom caused by a golden lightning instantly made the hundreds of soldiers and people around them roll over with their heads in their hands. This was intentional on the 18th. A group attack turned all the soldiers into trash. A bunch of scum, number 18 snorted disdainfully and then rushed in front of Abomination with lightning speed. The super speed was activated at full speed. He clenched his fist with his right hand and with a look of hatred and horror he hit his chin with a vicious uppercut. At this moment, Abomination could only move his thoughts and could not move his eyes. He was so scared. What kind of magic is this? He felt like he was really going cold. Bang! There was a muffled groan in number 18's ears and then there was a loud noise from outside like an earthquake. The crowd of onlookers had not yet woken up from the shock, and they suddenly woke up. They only felt a huge yellow unknown object flash past in front of their eyes, and then the thing was like a cannonball making a deep crater. Taking a closer look, it turned out that the superheroine had already stepped hard on the yellow-skinned monster's back. Of course, hatred will not die easily. This guy's vitality is very tenacious and he can't be beaten to death after being severely injured by No. 18, my brain and heart were still beating slightly and the beating was slowly speeding up. This guy is recovering, his self-healing abilities are helping him slowly heal from the severe injuries he suffered. Haha, that's interesting. Number 18 looked at Abomination and smiled with interest. There was something about this yellow-skinned monster. What a pity that's the end of it. Number 18 looked at Hatred and sneered and was ready to deal with this guy directly. Quick, fire, interfere with her actions, don't let her solve the Abomination. Seeing this, General Ross suddenly felt something bad. Number 18 raised his hand and unknown energy began to condense in his hand. He could feel the huge aura even from a distance. Bang bang bang, bang bang bang, air fire support came immediately. This time they did not dare to launch the ex-wife missiles. Hatred was already dying and could not withstand such devastation. If you launch a missile from your ex-wife, you will definitely die if you hate him, but the woman will definitely be unscathed. Vulcan Gatlin's fire snakes poured down for free and the micro-missiles came one after another. Laurie, do you need help? Chen Xi asked with concern. Although he believed in his heart that number 18 would not be harmed by these weapons, his woman would inevitably be worried. No, thank you, bad master. Number 18 was very touched and replied sweetly. After saying that, she focused on two tasks and arranged an oval-shaped air mask directly 1 foot in front of herself. Ding ding ding, ding dang dang. The bullets and micromissiles were unable to use the air shields at all, and no effect was fed back to General Ross. They were stunned and invincible. What kind of mutant is this? It has great strength, great defense, and it can fly. Then, they made an even more incredible discovery, and it seemed that was more than that, right? In their sight, number 18 soared rapidly, and a ray of extreme white light almost blinded their titanium alloy dog eyes. Chi circle slash. After a scolding, a disc-shaped throwing air bomb with a slashing effect formed on her palm. Then the disc of light struck at Abomination, who was struggling to get up like lightning, but it was too late. Puff. The Chi Yuan slash is like chopping melons and vegetables, easily cutting off the hideous head of hatred. Gulu, gulu, the blown head rolled several times and then stopped at the feet of the fat green man. Is there such a good thing? The green fat man was overjoyed. He had long been unhappy with this shit yellow monster and always went against him. Bang! The green fat man stepped forward and kicked the unlucky guy like a watermelon. This is how Blonsky's life ended, and his sad career as an experimental subject ended. Perhaps only he knew what it felt like to be neither a human nor a ghost. Number 18 slowly landed, patted his delicate hands, and said proudly to Chen Xi, "Did you see? Am I very powerful? Awesome, awesome, super heroine." Chen Xi also smiled and gave her a thumbs up. "Be careful, behind you." Chen Xi suddenly discovered that Hulk actually rushed towards number 18. After crushing the hatred with just one kick, Hulk's desire for destruction was even more aroused. He wanted to destroy the No. 18 in front of him is a strong man. It is more in line with his simple thinking that he must defeat such a strong man. Boom, 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 Hulk rushed over with a step that he didn't recognize. The grass could not hold up at all, leaving huge footprints. Roar, don't think Hulk is bulky just because he's tall, but that's not the case at all. He was very flexible, clenched his fist the size of a basin and pointed directly at number 18's head. And no. 18 is really petite in front of Hulk. One arm can be as big as hers alone, but this doesn't really count. The fist in his pupils was getting bigger and bigger. Number 18 didn't panic and punched Hung directly in the face of the disproportionate fist. Is it okay if you are tall and strong? Are you powerful? Sorry, my power is not inferior to yours. She likes this kind of hard S*X the most. Wouldn't it be more comfortable to torture her? Boom. One is the size of a wash basin and the other is only the size of a sandbag. They are completely evenly matched under a fierce attack. A wave of air burst out from the fists of the two men, sweeping through all the ruins around them. For a moment, dust flew up and trees, flowers, and grass were directly swept into the air. Roar! However, the pain always comes a little late. Hulk was shaken by the shock and took a few steps back. Every step he took would sink deeply into the soil, and his arms were numb and a little painful. Hulk stabilized his body and shook his arm as if he could shake off the pain. On the other hand, no. 18 looked like a normal person, smiling and looking at Hulk calmly. At this time, Ross did not interrupt the duel between the two but just observed from a distance. He wanted to see how powerful number 18 was. System, what level is number 18? He is really powerful, stronger than the Hulk in normal state. Chen Xi, who was a little surprised, couldn't help but ask the system. Back to the host, number 18 is a sub-Tianfu level powerhouse in this world. Of course, her combat power of 46 million in the Dragon Ball world is really exaggerated. The world of Dragon Ball is so outrageous. It has hundreds of millions and billions of fighting power at every turn, but many creatures can't live forever. Is this really the case? According to the existence of Dragon Ball, which explodes stars at every turn, space and matter are too fragile, and its combat power in the later stage is completely reduced. At this moment, there was an obvious change on the field. After Hulk regained his balance, no. 18 rushed over just to despise you. Poof, the speed was so fast that Hulk had no time to react. His fist had already hit his big face and a tooth shot out, accompanied by a ball of green blood. Hulk had his teeth knocked out. How is this possible? The most surprised person was General Ross and the others. As old rivals, they knew that Hulk could at most be stunned by missiles and have his teeth knocked out. How powerful is this? The jaws of the Melaneators have dropped. It all happened too fast. Their eyes are enough, but their heads are not. I was so stunned that I couldn't react. In the flash of lightning, the yellow skin that was so fierce just now has become completely cold, and the green skin that represents the healthy color is already half cold. Pooh. At this time, Hulk spit out blood and smiled evilly. Darling, this is the shot. It's a stroke of genius. Chen Xi looked at Hulk with surprise on his face. This guy's smile was like a textbook teaching. Every time Hulk smiles like this, he gets hammered. Sure enough, no. 18 felt that this guy was seriously provoking me. How could I tolerate my violent temper? Damn you, I will let you know why the flowers are green today. This time she was not polite and started to move at a high speed. In Hulk's confused eyes, the petite soles became bigger and bigger. The next second, the size 36 high heels slapped his size 50 green face hard. Bang! A really beautiful shoe print was printed on his face, and then number 18 hit his head mercilessly with a whip leg. Thump. This time, the green fat man could no longer smile evilly, and he fell straight to the ground, becoming a dead fish. HMPH, let you provoke, let you provoke. Number 18 angrily kicked this guy a few more times. It was just too much trouble. Okay, hurry up. If this guy faints, he will soon turn into Banner and wake up. Seeing number 18 still beating Hulk, Chen Xi quickly stopped her. Ah, this guy has rough skin and thick flesh. Ordinary weapons can't scratch his skin at all. On the 18th, the tiger eats the sky, and I don't know where to eat. Fool! Chen Xi tapped her little head lightly. Don't you know how to use Chi circle slash? Just give his arm a light blow. It dawned on me on the 18th, yes. Then she gathered a circle of Chi and slashed Hulk's arm, and blood flowed out immediately. Chen Xi quickly took out a bottle to collect the precious blood. Do it again, cut the artery. In less than 10 seconds the wound had healed, and Chen Xi asked no. 18 to continue cutting it severely. Poof, it's better now. Green blood was gushing out. Chen Xi was overjoyed. It was enough now. After healing this time, he had collected enough blood. At this time, Hulk slowly faded away and turned into classmate Banner wearing magic underpants. Banner woke up slowly. When he opened his eyes in a daze, he found Chen Xi looking at him with a smile. You, Chen Xi, what do you want to do? Why are you looking at me so weirdly? Banner was shocked. Didn't this guy want to experiment on me? Suddenly he turned his eyes and saw that Chen Xi was actually holding a bottle of green blood in his hand, and his face suddenly turned pale. Oh my god, do you really want to experiment on me? Banner felt a huge pain in his balls, but he still had a slight impression of what had just happened. The woman next to Chen Xi is very strong. Hulk can't defeat her and he can't escape. What to do? Waiting online, boom. Chen Xi gave him a hard blow. What are you thinking about? Am I that kind of person? Banner wants to say but dare not say you are not that kind of person. Look at the bottle in your hand. I know you have already done it. What are you? Don't look at how broad-minded I am with your narrow vision. Chen Xi immediately interrupted him, bragging shamelessly, cluck, cluck, when no. 18 heard this, she quickly covered her mouth and snickered. Her shaking shoulders could tell how uncomfortable she was, trying not to laugh. Smile, smile, I'll make you look good later. Chen Xi raised his eyebrows and looked at the little woman who was causing trouble. He had already thought about how to use super speed to treat her at night. Do you want to know the spear's ability to strike 100 times per second? If it weren't for the fear of friction and fire, he could strike 1,000 times per second, causing the girls to explode in an instant. Tonight, we need to stack them up like a stack of R-hats, with her on top and Wanda on the bottom. This will be much more convenient. Once you move at super speed, you won't feel the spear leaving at all. With a mysterious smile, Chen Xi took the two of them and teleported home directly. Only the jaws on the ground were left. God. That guy is also a mutant, teleporting. Wow, this ability is so cool. When will I awaken as a mutant? SHH, you want to die? Don't you know that there are some things you shouldn't say? Nonsense. Superpowers are always so cool, addictive, and imaginative, and everyone wants them. But it is not about scarcity but about inequality. This sentence is true wherever it is placed. Don't worry about poverty but worry about wealth inequality. It's that simple. It's okay if everyone doesn't have it, but I'm afraid some people have it and some don't. Your neighbor has suddenly awakened. He may be able to fly, escape from the ground, see through invisibility, control water and fire, have infinite power, and even live forever. Can your mentality not explode? Why can he have it but I can't? Envy, all original sins. Then there are people who hate mutants and try to kill them so that the psychology can be balanced. The more powerful you become, the more dangerous you become. Your enemies will not make you stronger because they are afraid of you becoming stronger. Your friends and family won't make you stronger because they are jealous of you becoming stronger. Putting aside the comments from the melaneating crowd, General Ross has fiery eyes. What a good experimental subject. A super mutant with strength, speed, and defense, and excellent in all aspects, is enough for him to take risks. His smile gradually became abnormal, as if victory was within reach. After feeling secretly happy for a while, he suppressed his smile and whispered softly to the adjutant. "Jones, you follow my arrangements like this." And then, his deputy Jones nodded repeatedly and a sinister smile slowly emerged. He immediately saluted with a smile on his face and shouted loudly, "General, please rest assured and promise to complete the mission." Will everything go according to their ideas? A group of ants are plotting against an elephant. They have no idea that they are facing an existence that is far beyond their own. The camera panned to Chen Xi. He had already brought Banner to the villa. He had a lot of questions. He and Banner came to the back garden and sat down. He stared at Banner and looked him up and down, making him go crazy. "What do you want? Why are you looking at me like that?" Banner asked weakly. He was frightened by Chen Xi. Could it be that his secret had been discovered? It shouldn't be. Chen Xi chuckled. "Banner, let me ask you, did you sneak out to meet Betty and be discovered by General Ross? Ah, how do you know?" Banner called out in surprise and suddenly reacted, but it was too late and he couldn't even admit it. "Haha, how do I know? I am a half-immortal who can understand the past and predict the future. How do you think I know?" Chen Xi said that he was so awesome that giving him a beard would help him act like a magic stick, but can Banner believe it? Banner looked stunned, unable to react for a moment, and was stunned. "There's no need to brag like that, right? You know the past so well and can predict the future, why don't you go to heaven?" But naturally I couldn't say these words. I could only look at Chen Xi's obvious disbelief and embarrassment. Banner was speechless for a moment and didn't know what to say. "What? You don't believe it? How about we make a bet?" Chen Xi knows that this guy doesn't believe it, so that'll be easy. "What I want is that you don't believe it. Let's see if you can fall into the trap." "What kind of bet?" "Are you betting on your prophecy?" Banner's expression changed and he blurted out, "As a doctor, there is no need to mention his IQ." "Clever," Chen Xi said with a smile. "Then what are you betting on?" Banner is also interested. "Betting on the future, it's interesting. Let's bet on whether General Ross will attack my place tonight." Chen Xi smiled mysteriously. He was sure that Ross would definitely cause trouble for him, or to be precise, trouble for number 18. He is the one who inspires to create a superpowered army. As for his purpose, I don't know. It's not a good thing anyway. When Banner heard this, he immediately decided to gamble. In his opinion, just for the sake of hatred, Ross would not easily avenge a dead person. It was not worth it. "Okay, I promise you that." After thinking for a second, Banner made a decision. "So what's our bet?" he asked again. "This is the fun of gambling. What is the most important thing to gamble on?" "Bet this is easy." Chen Xi smiled and said, "Here it comes, here it comes." "Taken the bait? If I win, you will be my subordinate from now on. I ask you to chase chickens but not dogs. You must obey my orders 100%, otherwise you understand." When Banner heard this, he said, "Hey, isn't this a bit too big a bet? I've put my whole life on the line with this bet. It's such a loss, how could I agree? I'm not a fool, so how could I agree?" Just as he was about to refuse, he heard Chen Xi's faint voice. "Don't you want to hear what the stakes will be if you win?" Banner's expression froze and he immediately stopped speaking. He hesitated. "Yes, the bets are all equal or one party needs it." Since Chen Xi can bet so big, he will naturally not come up with anything to fool him. Banner understood everything and couldn't wait to ask, "What bet are you willing to put up to play with me?" Hee, isn't this just a trap? Whether you betray others or betray yourself, it's just a difference in the chips. Chen Xi stared at Banner and said seriously, every word with his longing eyes, I can eliminate the Hulk personality. Thump! Banner jumped up in excitement, knocking over the chair. What? Can you really eliminate the Hulk? Are you serious? How are you going to do it? Banner's eyes were fixed on Chen Xi's eyes, and his hands were nervously grasping Chen Xi's arms, unusually nervous and expecting. He is almost going crazy from torture. Whenever he is angry, nervous, or excited, Hulk will always appear. Then there is non-stop destruction. He no longer has a home and is homeless. Who would want to be homeless if he could be stable? He has been wandering alone in the world for a long time. You have to be calm down, aren't you afraid of transforming? While speaking, Chen Xi noticed a trace of green light floating in Banner's eyes. This was a sign of emotional instability and the appearance of the Hulk, so he had to remind him gently. When Banner heard this, he quickly took a few deep breaths. After he calmed down a little, he couldn't help but ask, "What are you going to do?" This is what he cares about most. Haha, what should I do? You will know. Now is not the time to tell you, otherwise it will not work. Chen Xi spoke so vaguely that he looked like a magician, and Banner even felt that he was deceiving him. In fact, as long as Loki of this world invades the Earth with the Mind Stone, everything will be easy to say. As long as he activates a few mind gems in his hand and immediately merges them into super mind gems, it will be easy. How can a mere Hulk personality from the movie universe stop such a super killer? How is it possible? Therefore, Chen Xi is not worried at all that he can't do it. If it doesn't work, isn't there a system? This is the last resort. There is really no other choice but to do this. Banner hesitated and hesitated, to gamble or not to gamble. This is a lifelong matter. His whole life has been like this, and he can only be tortured endlessly by the Hulk. Sooner or later, the Hulk will be so powerful that he can directly devour his own personality. It doesn't matter if you gamble or lose, how much worse can it be? The future of my life is already bleak and dark. If I take a gamble and succeed, then the road will be smooth. So what should I do? Banner was uncertain, his eyes rolling around, obviously considering the pros and cons of the match. I don't know how much time passed, but Banner finally made up his mind. He raised his head and stared at Chen Xi, looking at him deeply as if he wanted to get an answer from Chen Xi's eyes. However, Chen Xi's eyes were as deep as the sea of stars, and he couldn't notice anything. Banner sighed dejectedly. Okay, I'll bet. Banner made a bet. Did he take the bait? Very good, very good. Chen Xi chuckled. Congratulations on making the right choice. You will be glad you made your choice. I hope so. Banner was non-committal and hummed slightly. Seeing Chen Xi so sure, he always felt that he had lost. He was so calm, as if everything was under his control. Yes, Chen Xi had planned everything, and Banner was naturally a part of this plan, and it was also the most critical part. To prevent Banner from joining the Avengers. Why? What is Avengers? Tools controlled by others, so why can't we control these NPCs ourselves? When you come here, everything will change. I come, I see, I conquer. As for whether to help Banner eliminate Hulk's personality and merge them into one, it's hard to say this. Whitewashing is 9 times weaker, while blackening is 10 times stronger. Banner's character is too cowardly and soft. Forget it, let's talk about it later. If you can't control it, destroy it. It depends on whether Hulk is obedient or not. I hope Hulk knows the current situation, otherwise the sharpest sword cannot be used by me, then it will be destroyed. Chen Xi's eyes flashed with fierceness. Seeing the trace of cruelty flashing through Chen Xi's eyes, Banner's pupils shrank in fright and his heart beat wildly. It felt like the Hulk in his body was about to explode. Not only himself, but even the Hulk had a feeling. He was already walking back and forth on the edge of life and death and could fall into the endless abyss at any time. The person who controls his own destiny is the person in front of him. This person has always been calm, but he can't understand the person in front of him from the beginning. Being idle, with light wind and light rain, wandering among the flowers, is it considered exhaustive or mature and ruthless? He really couldn't understand. After knowing each other for so long, Banner found that Chen Xi had too many faces. He doesn't know which one is him at all. Or are these all him? There may be a lot more of him that hasn't been revealed yet. At this time, Chen Xi stood up and left, smiling and giving Banner a meaningful look. Banner stared blankly at Chen Xi, leaving without saying a word. He knew he lost. There was no hope. On the other side, S.H.I.E.L.D. was intensely discussing the midday battle. The large conference room is now packed with seats and all agents above level 5 are present. Nick Fury, who was sitting in the first place, looked gloomy and his big black face could not be darker. Seeing that all the agents had arrived, the silent Nick Fury turned on the projection without saying a word. Swish, 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 all the agents looked at the projection. Naturally, they had heard about what happened at noon. Many people have also seen leaked clips online, and of course they are all edited online. At this moment, everyone is staring at the projection attentively, which is much better than the movie. There's nothing interesting about the Hulk versus Abomination seen in the video. They've seen too much. When Chen Xi and number 18 suddenly intervened, the style of the painting immediately changed. When they saw Chen Xi yelling with joy and a look of hatred for Steel, they couldn't help but want to laugh. This person really doesn't take it too seriously when it comes to watching the excitement, and fanning the flames of trouble when giving advice to others is simply too arrogant. I don't take Hulk and Abomination seriously at all, but as time goes by, many guys who don't have time to surf the internet find something is wrong. That man is not simple, very different. He was too calm and didn't pay attention to these two monsters at all. He was just watching the two monkeys performing. When the Hulk was led to the suburbs, they were excited. Some agents who didn't know Chen Xi couldn't help but exclaimed, "God, this man is a mutant. Teleportation, no wonder I have to take these two monsters seriously. I'm not afraid of being caught at all. That's right, that's what it's called, being confident, that's right. Alas, the culture of the Dragon Kingdom is just different. Among the mutants, the one who teleports seems to be the Red Devil. I didn't expect there to be someone exactly like him. Have you not noticed that that woman seems to be able to teleport? Yeah, it seems to have disappeared all at once." Everyone was watching the video and commenting on it, just like watching a science fiction movie. As soon as the scene changed, all the parties involved came to the suburbs. At this moment, they were shocked when General Ross ordered the launch of X-Wife missiles to attack the Hulk. Isn't this a bit crazy? This explosion will cause hundreds of millions of losses. When they saw number 18 grabbing his ex-wife's missile and throwing it at the military helicopter, they were all frightened. "Fake squid, this is a missile from my ex-wife. Can you catch it and use it as a dart? Strong, it's too strong, this power is a bit strong. Didn't you realize she can fly? Yes, you can fly, you can teleport, you are extremely powerful, don't be Magneto again." Boom. They came to their senses only when the explosion sounded. This was not an illusion. The next second they saw that the hatred was like a toy in the woman's hands, being manipulated casually without any ability to resist. Oh my God, what kind of attack is this? Laser, energy emission, or an unknown super mutant ability? Isn't this attack too powerful? Can our tank withstand this casual attack? Look at her defense. God, is that an energy shield? Armor-piercing bullets and micro-missiles can't break through the defense. They no longer knew how to describe it. Their eyes were filled with shock and fear, and before they knew it, their backs were already wet with sweat. There was a thin layer of sweat on his forehead. There were so many strong men among these mutants. Once they wanted to attack humans, who could stop them? Their hands and feet unconsciously clasped together, and they all looked at each other and saw fear and uneasiness in each other's eyes. When it came to the final Hulk scene, everyone no longer screamed in surprise like before. They were numb, and it was natural for them to knock down the Hulk. The Hulk is not much stronger than the Abomination, and isn't the latter just as likely to have his head blown off at will? The video ends abruptly here. The conference room was eerily quiet. There was no sound except for the faint sound of breathing. You could hear a pin drop. Nick Fury looked at the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents and looked very satisfied. He feels that S.H.I.E.L.D. has been a little distracted recently. Just take this opportunity to knock these bloated guys. What do you think will happen if you face them? Nick Frippy looked at the group of agents with a dead smile. The latter were speechless. What would happen? The fate of being wiped out by the group. You can still go against the will of heaven. Huh, why is no one talking? Aren't you very capable in normal times? Do you always think that you are an agent of the Strategic Homeland Defense Attack and Logistics Support Agency with your tail in the sky? Nick Fury took another chance and struck again, but the agents still listened to the reprimand without saying a word. Yes, ask yourself, what are they? What do they count as? Nick Fury also felt bad because S.H.I.E.L.D. was too weak. A plan was going over and over in his mind, but there were not many qualified candidates. S.H.I.E.L.D. can no longer sink, S.H.I.E.L.D. must rise. Everyone, the purpose of convening this meeting today is to tell you and your subordinates not to provoke that man at the moment. If any of you provoke him without authorization, then the best outcome is to shoot yourself. Don't implicate us. Having said this, Nick Fury looked around at the agents present with one eye and shouted, "Did you all hear that clearly? Clear. Speak louder, haven't you eaten?" Nick Fury shouted coldly again, "Clear." This time, everyone shouted hysterically at the top of their lungs as if they wanted to vent their fears. Okay, the meeting is over. It seems that he has established his authority again, and Nick Fury is very satisfied. I didn't just want to show off, but I really needed to delay, and there wasn't much time left for him. Don't let anything happen during this period. Chen Xi's appearance really caught him off guard. Nick Fury returned to the office tiredly alone, threw himself on the boss's chair and lay down. Hey, why am I so tired guarding against this and that? Do I have delusions of being persecuted? Ha ha ha, sad poor, what a shame. The empty office echoed with Nick Fury's self-deprecating laughter, which was so weird and a little pitiful. He didn't understand why he had to do this, why he had to guard against Chen Xi as if he was born with it. I laughed until tears came out and my stomach hurt. If the room wasn't sealed properly, he would really scare others to death, and there would be rumors outside that director Nick Fury is crazy. A dejected Nick Fury slowly opened a safe. This was a top-secret file that required verification with his fingerprints, pupils, and voice before it could be opened. Alas, it seems that this plan has to be implemented in advance. Computers and the like are simply not secure enough. The more intelligent they are, the less secure they are, so all confidential files are on paper. Nick Fury slowly opened the document and the Avengers' plan was printed on his head. If Chen Xi were here, he would know that this plan has been advanced. All because of his existence, many things broke out in advance, and the wings of his butterfly became bigger and bigger. After Nick Fury opened the file, it was filled with records of various superpower crimes, which was simply shocking. However, these records have not been circulated at all, and there is almost no circulation to the outside world. All were suppressed, but it was the mutants who took action. What a great irony! This is how their enemies who defend themselves day and night maintain world peace. Every time he saw this, his heart felt stinging. Why couldn't humans protect themselves? He actually needs the protection of mutants. What a pitiful and arrogant authority. Reading through it slowly, it was written that the candidate for the first Avengers project was Tony Stark. This was sponsored by him, hoping that his super brain and powerful inventive ability would help him. Unexpectedly, he actually created a steel armor. A mortal body can deal with ordinary mutants. Nick Fury believes that Tony can invent a more powerful armor in the future. Nick Fury, the chicken thief, doesn't even want to pay for the Avengers project from his own pocket. He's even more grandit than grandit, asking others to work for him and asking others to pay for him. It is really terrible for a person to be so cunning. It wouldn't matter if he was from the Dragon Kingdom. The genes for fighting wits and courage for thousands of years are there, but he is a completely black-hearted and black-skinned guy. In addition to Tony, a wealthy part-time inventor, the second candidate is Dr. Banner, the Hulk. It is true that this is a time bomb, but at the same time he is also a super tank and human shield, an all-around player with high attack power. Naturally, he does not want to let go of such a candidate. If Banner knew about it, he would definitely shout, "I'll step on my horse to thank you for the promotion. Let me work for you." The third candidate is the super agent Black Widow Natasha, who provides intelligence work for the entire team and is also indispensable. The fourth candidate is Hawkeye Patton. We have tank warriors, but why don't we have a shooter to do some damage? As for the mage, he didn't know that there was a mage, otherwise he would arrange a mage for them in minutes. This is Nick Fury's plan, the Avengers. A plan is always a plan, it has not become a reality and it is too difficult to implement. But now, no matter what, he has to implement this plan, no matter how slow the progress is. Oh, I hope everything goes well, don't force me. Nick Fury muttered into the air. After finishing speaking, he took out an old-fashioned BB machine, also called a wireless pager, from the safe in the office. This thing would have been eliminated by now and no one would be able to use it. Anyone who uses this will definitely get a lot of ridicule, but Nick Fury caressing it gently, in his eyes, this was 100 times more important than his own life. Whenever someone was alone, he would take it out and caress it. This antique pager is his last chance. It can bring him infinite security. When the Earth faces an unsolvable disaster, it is the last hope to save the Earth. Once you press it, an invincible woman will descend on the Earth across the endless starry sky, then destroy all the enemies. He believed that the invincible woman could do it, no matter if she was the overlord of the universe that Chen Xi said. Chen Xi, I don't care whether you are an alien from the M788 Nebula or a mutant. I hope you won't force me. He regards Chen Xi as his biggest imaginary enemy. Chen Xi is the most powerful and mysterious, unpredictable. Nick Fury cast his deep gaze out the window and into the sky as if that woman would return at any time. The Avengers' plan is to save themselves. Pagers are the last light in despair. He hopes that he can keep the secret of the pager forever, but before he dies, he will definitely press it and drag the strongest person with him to hell. He wants to complete the ultimate 1-for-1 exchange. Only by removing one of the biggest hidden dangers for the Earth can he die with peace of mind. Of course, Chen Xi didn't know everything that happened in Shield. And he didn't care about how much of a sensation he had caused in the world. At this moment, he was waiting for the first dinner cooked by Wanda and number 18 together. However, number 18 was completely unhelpful and kept adding trouble to Wanda with a smile. "Ah. I'm so annoyed. Get out of here, you damn woman. Hey, don't go out. Wanda screamed unbearably, closed her eyes, and walked directly to the kitchen door to tell number 18 to get out, but no. 18 was like a normal person, stealing a bite here and grabbing a handful there. Damn guy, he can't do anything, he's the best at cooking. Angrily, Wanda twisted her zunai hard and then let out a fierce sigh of anger. It's time to eat, hubby, come here and serve the food. Come on. Half an hour later, Wanda's voice reached the living room and Chen Xi swooped to the kitchen and started serving food. He had been busy for a long time and he was afraid of being criticized. The wife works hard to cook and the husband lies still like an old man waiting for the food to be served. So why don't you serve durian, or the kind with extremely sharp thorns? You can't get used to this kind of lazy behavior. My wife is so good at cooking, she can actually cook huxia food. She is much better than Lolly, a foodie who only knows how to eat. Chen Xi flattered her without leaving any trace and made Wanda, who had been busy for a long time, feel happy and her anger disappeared. By the way, he glanced at No. 18 with pride. Zsa, if my husband praises me or not you, is it a woman who can't even do housework? Yes, Sister Wanda is so powerful, she is just a little maid, she can't be compared. No. 18 immediately surrendered with a smile. Compared to this is really incomparable. She is good at fighting. Who is Wanda? Abandoned at birth. After they were adopted by the Maximovs, their life was miserable. After graduating from high school at the age of 16, he and Kyuhyun began a wandering life. Maximov drank, gambled, and stole. Kyuhyun felt that it was not safe and he would be sold by his adoptive father sooner or later, so he and Wanda began to work as a wandering family until now. The two poor children had no one to shoulder the responsibility for them, so they had to rely on themselves to survive until Wanda met Chen Xi. By the way, isn't Banner hiding in Tony's house? Why did he transform into the Hulk and be chased and intercepted again? Wanda suddenly asked while eating and chatting. Isn't it Banner? He went to find Betty secretly and he turned into the Hulk when he got excited. Chen Xi smiled softly and explained, Is that so? Why are you so excited? The person assigned by Ross to protect Betty discovered it. Chen Xi said casually, Oh, that's it. Wanda said softly, no longer doubting, Is this really the case? Chen Xi didn't believe it. The two of them had reunited after a long absence, so it wasn't like a long drought followed by sweet rain. It must be that just when Banner was about to take the final step, Hulk came online directly when he was excited or nervous. Luckily he transformed before entering the door. If he transformed into the Hulk after entering the door, then Betty would have exploded immediately. Chen Xi suddenly made a malicious guess which felt a bit vulgar. Either Betty is the cucumber girl or Banner is the green prairie above his head. In Chen Xi's inexplicable smile, the three of them quickly ate this warm dinner if they didn't grab it on the 18th. Wanda, come out and I'll take you to Tony's house to chat with Peppo. There will be uninvited guests later. After Wanda finished washing the dishes, she heard Chen Xi calling him. She asked in confusion, "What's wrong? Is there a bad person?" "Yes, if someone comes to die, we can only help him. But you also know that this scene is a bit unfriendly and I don't want to scare you now." Chen Xi shrugged and said with a smile, "I don't care about these clowns at all, but that kind of scene is not suitable for Wanda to watch. Her world should remain pure for now, let the darkness come." "Okay, I listen to you and be safe," Wang Dagan agreed obediently. She knew that staying here would definitely distract Chen Xi. She knew the rules and would not be sloppy. "Okay, let's go." After saying that, he grabbed Wanda and teleported directly to Tony's house. Tony was surprised by Chen Xi's arrival. He hadn't seen Chen Xi for a long time, but he naturally read the news. That powerful woman put great pressure on him. He really didn't understand why such a powerful woman suddenly appeared next to Chen Xi. Is this justified by nature? Have we ever had a good time? One Chen Xi is difficult enough to deal with, how about another one? "Shet, why are you here again and bringing your woman with you? Are you causing trouble again?" Tony was very depressed. This guy didn't even knock on the door. "Otherwise, I would not open the door for him. This guy means that no good thing will come to him." Chen Xi stared at him with a half-smile. "Has this guy been too busy lately? Does this mean he doesn't welcome me?" "Well, I have to find something for him to do, otherwise I think he doesn't respect me a bit." When Tony was stared at by Chen Xi, a sudden chill came from the bottom of his feet to the sky. I shivered unconsciously. This is a sign. Tony was a little confused, as if he had said the wrong thing. He must be up to something again. Just when Tony was secretly regretting it, Chen Xi suddenly spoke. "It's nothing, it's just that some people are here to die. I sent Wanda here and asked Peppo to stay with her. I will leave later. By the way, where is the Banner man? Let him come out and I will take him out to witness what a miracle is." After saying that, Chen Xi shouted, "Banner, Banner, come out quickly and follow me to my house. This time you will be convinced that you have lost." Thump, thump, thump. As soon as he finished speaking, Banner came out of the basement. Coming, Banner agreed from afar. When he saw Chen Xi being so calm, the strong premonition came again. "Okay, let me check with you, although I am almost certain that I will lose." Banner looked at Chen Xi with some depression and said, "Are you making a bet?" "Betting on whether Ross will come tonight?" Tony finally understood. This must be related to Ross. The matter involving Banner must be related to him. With his IQ, he came up with this result instantly. "Yes, Tony, your genius brain has not grown in vain. I will lift up your skull and take a look at it sometime, As he spoke, Chen Xi glanced around with his eyes, which frightened Tony so much that his eyes and expression changed immediately. He knows that Chen Xi can do anything. He is not a good person who kills people like crazy, and his thoughts are so wild and unconstrained that he can't figure them out at all, just for fun. While Chen Xi was trying to scare Tony, groups of heavily armed guys sneaked up near Chen Xi's villa. Hundreds of special soldiers carrying black boxes have surrounded Chen Xi's villa.